Welcome to the Elephant Sports Centre and welcome to the City Park Radio listeners on 96.5 and 103.7 and via the NBL1 live stream. So we're doing a simulcast this evening. It's a great pleasure to be able to do that. And it's a big game tonight. It's the Launceston Tornadoes versus the Nunawading Spectres. And the young Tornadoes last week put up a great fight against the Sandringham, or the Southern Sabres I should say, and got within 1 point late in the game. But just a bit of experience on the Sabres side got them through in the end. Very different Tornadoes side tonight because there's a junior championship underway and a lot of their younger players will be playing that this weekend. So only a small team of 8 tonight suiting up for the Tornadoes. And we've got a return of one of their legends, Cassie Jordan, who's playing, I think it might even be a games record holder at the Tornadoes. So she's welcome back tonight, number 21. And of course the Spectres came off a loss last night to the Hobart Huskies, a very strong women's team they've got, and the Spectres, I should say, got some great players. Kathleen Shear, who's well known to Tasmanian basketball fans from her time at the Chargers. Welcome to my co-commentator tonight, Scott Brown. G'day, Brownie.
Hello, Dave, and thank you for having me. And yeah, what a game got here. Kathleen Shear, I was just talking to some people before I got on air here, and she's only the third option on scoring here, and she's just a typical 30 points, 12 rebounds sort of girl. And we've had the opportunity and the privilege to talk to her up close and live. She's a fantastic player, fantastic person. Going to be tough for the Tawns tonight. Yeah, this is a very, very, very strong outfit, and they rely on going inside a lot, where that's kind of the weakness for the Tawns. However, we get
got
to see
some breaking news for you, Scotty.
Oh, yes.
You might not know this, but the third of the input, Stephanie Gardner.
I was just about to mention that. Steph
right?
Gardner's in. And big raps on Steph Gardner too. Lightning fast, good shooter, fantastic passer, and should be a good foil along with Brittany Hodges, who had a fantastic game. Of course, 20 rebounds and basically a half a basketball. Phenomenal. She'll find it a bit tougher going against Kathleen Shear. Won't let that happen this time round. But it'll be interesting to see without the kids, because we're quite impressed with some of the kids that played last week for the Tawns. Of course, they're all off representing under 18 nationals. And we'll talk a bit more about that when we've got some time. But look, I reckon it's going to be the story of the season for the Tawns. Competitive, but tough game.
Absolutely. And you talk about the Spectres. Izzy Chilcott is a player that we know a fair bit about.
Absolutely, Jet.
And of course, she's played with the Logan Thunder, the Perth Lynx. She's been across in America, Pensacola Junior College, University of San Diego. So she's a very well-credentialed player, and she'll be one to look out for. And one player who's in superb form is Rachel Antoniadou. We saw her here last year and in the preliminary final of the Siebel, and she's having a fantastic season, scoring the lights out. So
absolutely, and a fantastic defender too, along with Tessa Boyd. Everyone forgets about Tessa Boyd. You can put her down for 8. Like, she'll get 8 assists and 4 steals. Doesn't turn the ball over, which was the story of the night last week for the Tawns turnovers. So expect Tessa Boyd, if they continue in that fashion, she'll rack up 20 steals tonight.
Of course, Brittany Hodges, last week, her first game. Was difficult coming to a new comp, so we might expect something bigger from Brittany tonight. Yeah,
well, she was actually really awesome. She was she was a powerhouse down there. She's got strong post.
Beautifully. Perhaps didn't shoot the way she would have liked. But,
that's right. She's got a good post game, but she was getting doubled and triple teamed, and it's going to be her ability to pass out of the post, to be able to put those putbacks back, and of course her ability to stay on the court, Dave, is the number one thing. 5 fouls is doesn't help when you're sitting one on the pine.
She plays a very physical game, so
very physical.
Of course, we've also got Stella Beck, the New Zealander, Townsville Fire.
She was good.
Yeah, she was great.
She
had a better second half.
She did. She pushed the ball. She played every minute. Very fit, and she did collect 2 charges. We'll keep an eye on that tonight, Dave. She does go from get to point C. She goes straight through point B. But yeah, she was really, really good. She didn't score as much as I'm sure she would have liked. But the rest of the team was lifting that in the area for her, so she's got a lot of bows, and I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see her go to, how do you say Rachel's name again, David?
Antoniadou.
I'll leave that one to you tonight.
I heard her name very well pronounced by the commentators on the live stream last week. I also rang Paul Flynn, who I had a chat to during the week, just to get that pronunciation right, but it is Antoniadou. So
Antoniadou, right.
Antoniadou. Just, if you go Rachel, I'll finish it for you.
Yeah, number 4 to our listeners. And we're going to be calling her name a lot for forms, anything to go by, so I'm in for a long, long call.
And Scotty, did you see any of the Thunder game just prior to
I
this?
did. Geez, there's some big boys out there. And I tell you what, having coached here now for up to 15 years, it was good to see a lot of young fellas out there, especially Lockie Boucher was out there playing, Brady Armstrong, good young talent, Trey Armstrong, of course the son of the great Sam Armstrong, who's been a stalwart of Tasmanian basketball. Simon Loke, just quiet 206 centimetres. And,
Sam Armstrong, of course, is the coach of the Thunder these days.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam, and what a great player he was. And Nick Hayward, that's what I was trying to think of last week. Nick Hayward, Emma Hayward's the one that they're missing. The Tawns would say would really love her experience there. But no, it's good to see some of the young fellas there. And they were playing quite well, aggressive and taking the ball to the hoop. And, they've got a big future there. A lot of that team is 20 or under, and I'm sure Brett would have mentioned that
he
in the call.
mentioned the call that the men's Spectres team only had a couple of players under 25. The 30-year-olds, 27-year-olds, mature basketballers, experienced basketballers. And they were too good tonight for the Thunder, but it's probably only that second quarter where the Thunder lost control. Absolutely.
But it's great to see such young boys and young talent. And everyone thinks Trey Armstrong, he's just come back from all those national camps and American scholarships, and he's a player to remember for the future. He'll play for the Boomers if he keeps going at the rate he's going. He's tracking very nicely.
Big crowd tonight. And what do you think of the double-headed concept?
I think it's brilliant.
Yep.
I think the more basketball, the better. And basketball's just growing every year down here in Tassie. They're doing a fantastic job, and really spearheaded by the Tawns up here. That's the success they've had. It's really pushed that popularity. And I forgot it was a double-header, Dave. Trying to get a car spot out there. My God, about 4 blocks away. And that's a fantastic sign. So, look, it's I hope it continues. And I hope they follow it up with the double-header with some junior basketball leading into that as well. I think what a night. You can get in here about 5 o'clock at night and get out of here by about 9 and see some of the best basketball talent going around in the state and indeed around the country.
That's right. For our Victorian viewers tonight on the stream, our listeners on our audio stream, the double-header thing for the Tornadoes is a bit of a foreign concept because the only 2 clubs in the league that have separate gender clubs,
that's right,
the Northwest Thunder and the Launceston Tornadoes. Of course, all the other clubs in the league have a men's and women's side, so it's a double-header every week. But it's something new here. It's certainly brought the crowd out. You can probably see in the background our stream, there's a crowd in the background there filling the stands, but all the way around 360 view, good crowd. I think the capacity here is about 600 or 700.
Absolutely, and you struggle to find a seat out there, Dave, especially if you're bringing your family in late. It's a few spare gaps around there, and on our screen there, you're really only seeing probably less than a quarter. Yep. Of the capacity here is fantastic. And then, of course, the bar room up here, which will fill up, just steadily filling up.
When we talk about crowds 600 or 700, there's some WNBL games that would struggle to get that many people. So
absolutely, and that just shows you the connection that the Tawns have with the community as well. They're very respected, and of course, as I was saying last week, they've broken all sorts of records for community camps and workouts with the kids and visiting schools, and they're just going above and beyond this year to really spread the message.
So you can see on the screen there, you can see the Sabres warming up. Yeah, I mean, talk about Kathleen Shear. What a fantastic time she had at the Hobart Chargers.
Oh, absolutely.
A complete all-round player, isn't she?
She is. She pretty much proven. This is back when the Tawns had the big 3 and Taylor Roberts and Michaela Roof and basically Kathleen Shear by herself, and she won the game for them. She was outstanding, very, very hard to stop one-on-one. Can shoot outside. She's got great head fakes. She will pass the ball. She's not a selfish player. And it's just that capacity to get in and never get hurt. If you remember correctly, Dave, last time we were down there, we thought she broke her ankle. Sure enough, 8 minutes later, she had it taped up and out she went. Just an absolute iron woman, and she hasn't aged in about 10 years. It's incredible. And she's not the best player tonight. She'll be in the top 3.
Yeah, she's made of a very tough constitution, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
She's one of the best basketballers in the Seabull and now in the NBL1. So height-wise, looking at the 2 teams, Scotty, what are your thoughts there?
Well, outside of Brittany Hodges, it's going to be tough, and that's going to be the story for the Tawns all year. Is that they really lack that second big to hold them out. However, I was really, really, really impressed last week with Brooke Brown.
Unfortunately, Scott, she's a withdrawal from tonight's team.
Well, they're in trouble because she really filled that hole nicely.
I'm not sure there's an injury or what's happening there, but
right. Well, they're going to need some of their tougher guards then. Ali Partridge, for example, just looking down the list here, and Stella Beck, obviously, they're going to have to play those swing roles and take some big bodies and sacrifice their game. But, geez, they're going to be exhausted when it comes to the offensive end. The whole concept is your bigs, they do the banging and they pass out so your shooters can shoot. But when the shooters are banging bodies down there, it's a long night.
It's interesting to see the 2 warm-ups here. The Spectres at the moment are basically doing almost a 3-on-3 simulation, game simulation type thing, whereas the Tawns are focusing on shooting baskets and from different angles. Basketball warm, is there a formula for basketball warm-up, or is it each club to their own sort of thing?
Yeah, well, basically what you see is all sorts of different types now, and if you ever get to see the Great American College warm-ups where they do all the dances and the huddles and stuff, it's got a bit carried away there. But generally when they do the 3-on-3, they're just looking for spots and getting the basketball IQ up and getting their passes and their pick and rolls, and that's what they're working on. They're not playing 100%. They're just working on their spots and their rolls. Compared to the Tawns who are going through their spot shooting, let's go up as many shots as we possibly can so that our eyes are in. So it's just a different form, a different styles. It's often like when you see in the AFL, you get the guys before they go in the games, some of them hit the bag, some of them hit the rope, some of them are on the foam roller. It's what works best for your concept of your team. You often see though when teams are doing 3-on-3, they come and they mean business.
You might notice that the time is 8 o'clock and we haven't started. I think that's because it's a mandated warm-up period, and the Thunder game went a little bit over time, so we're going to get it underway, I'd say, about 5 or 6 minutes time, 5 minutes 40 to be exact, look on the scoreboard. So a bit more time to chat about the game. Well, the Tornadoes, I mean, it looks like they've only got the 8 players. Is that a factor? I mean, a lot of our away teams are just 8 players anyway, so probably not a big thing. But
well, when it comes to fouls, yes. Yep. But when it comes to minutes, it's once you get in a groove, or if you're having trouble getting in a groove, it kind of forces the coach to get you out there and you can work your way into the game. When there's a whole bunch of you, you kind of have that pressure that if you miss a couple of shots, you may get dragged, or if you make a mistake, you may get dragged. Those sort of concepts aren't as fortuitous in this sort of situation, so a lot of the girls are going to get lots of minutes. They can be a little bit more aggressive because they're not going to feel they're going to get yanked off the court because he's going to have to rotate everyone, otherwise they're going to be exhausted. Outside of Stella Beck, and perhaps just going down the list here, outside of Stella Beck, I haven't seen Stephanie Gardner go, but going on her pedigree and her CV, she'd have a bit of endurance as well. Outside of that, the rest of them need at least 5 to 6 minutes every half to have a bit of a break.
Scotty, you probably don't know this because we didn't get time to chat too much before the game, but we've got a special guest at halftime, Dave Buer.
I know David, yes.
Yes, he's, of course, he was coaching the men's Spectres team, so he's going to join us at half-time, so it'll be interesting to have a chat.
Yeah, well, Dave Buer, for those who don't know, is an absolute legend of Tasmanian basketball.
And Australian basketball.
Australian basketball, that's right. He was Tim Duncan before Tim Duncan. Just had this beautiful bank shot, can play out of the post, played in that wonderful Hobart Chargers era where they went in their back-to-back championships under... Oh, now you're testing me. Mark Chivers is the head coach. So, looking forward to that. And he's a big man. Yes. He's a monster of a man.
So, looking forward to that. Looks like we're about to have the national anthem. Not too far away. As we just pose for a photo. It's a bit awkward. But,
yeah, there's a reason we're on radio, Dave.
That's right. We're actually on the live stream, but they can't see us.
That's right.
Tawns players just being introduced.
Sarah O'Neill's one that I was actually very impressed with her game last week. She's just come out first out there. Had a trouble knocking down a shot, but she took the right option and she can get to the basket. And if she starts finding a little bit of a range there, that would be really, really good. And I can see her playing that 6-man role tonight.
So just there, 8 players for the Tawns, and including new import Stephanie Gardner.
I can guarantee you one thing, Dave, is that the Spectres would have watched the game footage and they will not let Beck Abel have the space that they gave her last week after the phenomenal shooting display that she showed in the limited minutes that she played. She was fantastic shooting, and she'll be ready for it, though. She's done it for a long time at this level.
So both teams lined up. Not far away from the national anthem. So I'll just pause for a moment. There we go, the national anthem. It's a great part of these NBL1 games. The teams now, final 5 minutes to warm up, so it looks like we'll be getting underway about 10 minutes past 8. A little bit late today. And referee Nick Draper now picks a local boy, Scotty, and he actually played in the Scotch Oakburn team the other night in the NSADA's grand final.
I was going to say, he's a Scotch boy, and he has the honour of that he's been awarded some very, very big NBL games experience as well, going away for umpiring. I noticed that in the news feed about 2 weeks ago. So he's a very, very good umpire. He's been umpiring championship basketball, underage championship basketball down here for the last 2 years. And the one thing that he does have is very, very cool head. So when coaches are completely losing their mind, he gives them the ear and he listens, and then he quiets them down. And being a very fiery player himself, you would have seen the other night, Dave.
Oh,
he gets fired up, and he's a very, very accomplished player and a very accomplished referee, and got a good idea for the game and the flow, and calls the fouls when they need to be called and lets them play, which was a bit of a concern last week, actually. A lot of quick on the whistle calls, and talking to some of the patrons here after the game, they'd like to see the game flow a little bit, and at least you know with Mickey, he'll be able to do that.
So starting fives, we've got Sarah O'Neill, Stephanie Gardner, Brittany Hodges, Ali Partridge and Stella Beck, and for the Nunawading Spectres. As it just goes off the screen, Scotty, you can scroll down there and give us the starting five for the Spectres.
Oh, absolutely. That was my one job, and I blew it. There we go. So Kathleen Cheer, Pizzy D'Angelo, your girl,
Rachel Antoniadu,
and Chilcott.
There we go. So thanks to Joe, our camera person tonight. She's on the camera there for the stream. So I hope you enjoy our coverage of NBL1 basketball. As I said, a bit of a late start due to the previous game going a little bit over time.
We can still just see down in the corner the patrons flowing in, David. So I reckon we'll get pretty close to capacity again. So Janie Finlay would be very excited. Of course, she's been the heart and soul of the Launceston Tornadoes and basically Northern basketball for the last 6-7 years now. So fantastic to see this sort of involvement. And I remember back in the days, they used to have the signs out them wiggling, trying to get people in that didn't know it was on. And now you'd be lucky to get a seat. That's right.
Of course, Launceston Tornadoes went through some financial difficulties about 4 or 5 seasons ago. And they've really recovered, and great local support, fantastic sponsors. And now an established basketball club here in northern Tasmania. Of course, the Spectres, such a great basketball heritage.
Absolutely, very, very good. They're always top 5 teams, no matter how the comp changes or the personnel. Very well coached and great basketball culture.
So just seeing the players go through their final warm-up. We've got a couple minutes left. Your prediction, Scotty?
Well, my heart's always with the Tawns, Dave. I think they'll be competitive, but the Spectres I'm expecting them to make they're going to be close to making the final this year. As long as they don't get any injuries, they're just very well balanced, great depth in their bench. But you never know. The Tawns have been stronger teams than this on the home court, and but geez, they're missing some of the players, some of the kids they're missing will make a big difference.
I'll tell you what, the Hobart Huskies are up and about because they did beat Nunawading convincingly last night.
What a roster, though, when you go through that roster, my God.
And they've kept a lot of the old Chargers core, some of the local players, Shana Thompson, for example, and they've recruited really well.
Yep. Absolutely. Tell you what, Dave, if we were to do this warm-up, we'd be bloody out of gas by now, mate.
That's it.
That was basically a game for us.
You're just a spring chicken, Scott, compared to me.
Oh, you're too kind.
Listen to City Park Radio 96.5 and 103.7. So we're going to be about 10 minutes late getting underway.
Tell you what, Dave, the biggest question tonight after last week is, will the half-court shot go off again?
Yep.
I reckon if we had percentages on that, I reckon that's hit about 40% of the time. It's incredible.
So for our Nunawading fans or Victorian fans, we have a half-court shot at half-time and money jackpots. And of course, if it goes in the basket, you win the cash prize.
Absolutely.
It went off last week, first round of the season.
Yeah, it didn't even look like this, and the young fella just pinged it in. Fantastic. And the crowd, because they're so used to it now, it's sort of like, we were going crazy up here. Jeez. Any basketball program out there wanting to improve their half-court, last-minute shot, come down to Tassie. They never miss. Jeez.
All right. 20 seconds to go. Both teams are still in the hands of their coach, Derek Washington, of course, for our Victorian viewers. Magnificent season last year. Took the Tornadoes all the way to the Seabull final over in Bendigo.
So they were counted out last season, Dave. They didn't think after all the interruptions and
they
coach
started
changes,
slowly last year too.
They did.
Made a big run.
And the one thing that's guaranteed is he is a development coach. They will improve and improve and improve, especially the younger players. But the exciting thing tonight, we'll be watching the new import, Stephanie Gardner. She's a good size for a guard down there, Dave.
Yep.
Not in height-wise, but just in size. And like we saw with the men in the previous game, you know, once you're a little bit smaller, that tends to take a bit of a toll. But as soon as they walk out, you can see it's a fair distance between the average height between the two teams, especially when you've got players out there like Pizzy, who's just head and shoulders above everyone.
All right. Week 2, I should say, of NBL1. For some teams, it's their third game. The Spectres, of course, they played last week. Had a big win over Ballarat. Underway, and Stephanie Gardner gets her first possession in the Tornadoes colours. For our radio listeners, the Tornadoes in their traditional red and white, Spectres in blue and red. Here's Stella Beck. Pass over the top. Attempt there by O'Neill. Can't make it. Defensive rebound goes to the Spectres.
That's been Sarah O'Neill's story of her season so far. Good opportunity, just can't get it in the hoop at the moment.
Izzy Chilcott involved early. Pizzy. Back to Chilcott. Makes 2. Open shot from just inside the 3-point line. And they're underway. The Spectres 2-0. Ali Partridge has it. To Beck. Thinks about the 3. Stands up, but then bounces it into Hodges. Turns. Great move. Hodges. Yep. It had a look for a second, but she went left, she went right, and found a bit of space. Great basket by Hodges, 2 apiece.
Yeah, she's got great footwork under that basket. When you've got a big that can move like that, it's hard to stop.
Long pass to the corner. Long shot, not made. That was Antoniadu.
Oh, what a pass.
Quick transition. Stella Beck puts the hand in the left mitt and puts it up.
What a pass. A one-handed side spin throw, Dave. That's a lot harder than she made that look.
At the other end, Antoniadu goes up for the shot. There's contact underneath the basket. Pizzy on O'Neill. It's a foul against Pizzy, the number 8.
A big fan of Sarah O'Neill. She just gets the ball in the right place. Once those shots start dropping, she's going to be a real threat.
Steph Gardner gets through the press over to Beck. Into the lane. Stops, props. Underhand pass. Back to Gardner. Retreats. Skips around. Screen from Hodges. Up goes Gardner. A bit of a rusty shot, that one.
I think Pizzy might have got a hand on that one, Dave.
Yep.
Oh, that's a basket. Well
in
done.
Goes number 7 there. That's Chelsea D'Angelo. And she went through that defence like a knife through butter. Put up the shot for 2, 4 apiece. Good standard start as Hodges goes again. And she might have got the shooting range right this week, Scotty. If she does, look out.
Yeah, she's very strong going to that basket.
I can see a double-double coming.
Yes, she would put it down. Pencil her in, I reckon. She's very impressive.
D'Angelo out to Shear. First involvement, really. Back to D'Angelo's on fire. Not this time. Pizzy out to Antoniadu. Gets a screen from Shear. Back to Shear. Into the corner. Long shot. Not made. That was Pizzy again, I think. Or was it Chilcott? Sorry. It was Chilcott. Picked up by a fellow number 9. Hodges. And we've got a bit of a contact foul coming up the court there. It's a bit of a waste of a foul, Scotty.
Yeah, it is, and Chilcott actually mouthed exactly what I thought, and that was a bit of a soft call and no influence on the play whatsoever, but if the umpire was there.
Umpire was right on the spot, so...
Kathleen Shearer also showing some great passing early, Dave.
Steph Gardner, this time she's got the range. 2 points, stand-up shot, 8-4, good signs for Tawns early on in this game.
Yeah, Gardner, very impressive so far, has got some good control.
Little pass to Shear. Chilcott from the corner. Not made. Who's got the rebound? It's off the hands of the Spectres, so it's a Tawns ball with Ali Partridge. Played a few seasons now with the Tawns. In the starting 5 this year. Gardner to Partridge.
And Partridge can't be measured by stats, Dave. It's what she brings. It's the hustle and the energy. Yep. Look at that. Oh,
pass.
I've had the open lane there.
Yep. Stella Beck. Shot clock 8. Hodges, pass underneath.
That's into, and
Partridge can't make the shot, but she was contacted on the way. So that's a couple from the free throw line. Referee Nick Draper signals the 2.
Like we said last week, Ali Partridge, she's just so strong and so fit. I believe last year, the only time she went off injured was when they had to rush to the hospital because her nose got smashed in. And that's it. She was back next week anyway. So she's a phenomenally gifted athlete.
Referees Mitch Hare, Jack Woolcock, Nick Draper, as Partridge misses the first of the free throws. And the second, as Shear takes the rebound.
Oh, good work, Ali Partridge.
So Partridge might have got a hand in there. Here's Gardner, lively, and can't make the second basket. Well, it's her third attempt tonight, 1 from 3. Quick transition. Standing up as D'Angelo and makes her second basket for the night.
That was better defense.
D'Angelo.
Better defense there by Brittany Hodges, Dave. Last week she would have tried to block that and get away a cheap foul.
8-6. Partridge. Sarah O'Neill from the corner.
Great shot.
I think her foot was just inside the line. So 2, 8-6. Confident start. That's right. No, it was a 3-pointer. I'll take that back. It's 11-6. 3 from O'Neill. This time Shear for 3. Does everything but go down the bucket. Rebound to Gardner. Risky pass to O'Neill. She just reels it in. O'Neill retreats now. Sums up her options. Gardner, Hodges. Hodges turns. Reject there by Shear. Was there any contact? No, there wasn't. At a play, though, it'll be a Tornadoes ball, but that was great defence from Shear, Scotty.
Absolutely, and isn't she known for that? Just fills up the stat sheet. And good call by the umpire, because Brittany Hodges jumped into the body of Kathleen Shear, and Kathleen Shear was straight up, so it was good to let that one go. Gardner,
no space. Has to dish out to corner. Beck to O'Neill. Can't get through. Hodges with the shots, and that's another 2. And that's 6 points now for Hodges in the first 5 minutes.
What a start too by the Tawns, Dave.
13-6, Scotty. This is not what I expected. This is great work from the Tornadoes early. D'Angelo, Shear. Can she get a shot up? She gets blocked, but beautiful follow-up there. Great anticipation by Rebecca Pizzi. Gets the 2. 13-8, high standing contest, Scott.
Absolutely.
Over 20 points between the two teams in the first 5 minutes. Steph Gardner, can she get away through? Great reject there from Shear.
Shear just gave her a bit of lip on the way. Don't come into my house.
Here we go. And Antoniadu, she's been scoring the lights out in the last few weeks.
What a shot.
She makes the 3 there, 13-10.
Didn't even look like missing.
Great basketball here by both teams. Gardner stretching is Beck. She reels it in. Settles things down again. Goes right-hand side of the paint. Then puts a shot up off the glass. And that's the strength of Stella Beck.
Yeah, once they work out, if they stand up straight, they'll go straight through it. They'll be better off. But that's what we didn't see from Stella Beck last week, is that intent and that intent to score.
Shear takes a shot. Doesn't make it, so it's rebounded now by Beck. It gets past Shear. She's got Hodges to her left if she wants. Beck goes underneath. Reaches a dead end, so goes out to Partridge. To O'Neill. O'Neill turns. Oh, a little pass to Hodges. It's a bit hot.
Yeah, good idea, but just Hodges wasn't ready.
Antoniadu zooms down the court. Backtracks now to Chilcott. Chilcott long over the top to Shear. Shear turns, gets underneath. Was there contact? There was. To the line for 2. Foul on Brittany Hodges. First foul tonight for the Tornadoes. Nunawading already on 3, Scott.
That's right, and that's one of those lazy fouls that Brittany Hodges, she just has to be better than that. She has to realise that she's got to be there in the long run, and she's just got to keep her hands up and hope that someone else goes for those strip decisions.
Well, the knock on it last week was getting in foul trouble early.
That's right.
I think she had 3 in no time, which affected her court time, of course.
Absolutely. And if you look at her now, 5 minutes and for 1 rebound and 1 block shot, and she's in there for 6 points, they need her on the court.
Shear makes the first. Tornadoes cheer squad there, trying to put her off, but they won't do that. Experienced player like Shear makes the second. On the court now is Beck Abel. Made some big triples last week, Scott.
Oh, yeah, the girl can shoot.
Gardner.
They've left her open already.
To Beck, who'll turn and not shoot. Now she does. She couldn't quite get the space to get an effective shot up. Great defense. Spectres at the other end. Up goes Antoniadu. In fact, D'Angelo. And we've got a foul on D'Angelo.
Yeah, not too much argument there by Steph Gardner, but Jeez, if it was a foul, I barely saw it, David. It must have just
Foul.
been a nick.
Yeah. Umpire signalled foul on number 6, Steph Gardner, who's going to have a bit of a spell. I don't know how long she's been in the country. I don't think it's been very long at all. So, just having a chat to Derek Washington, who's been very supportive there. Meanwhile, back on play, it's Chelsea D'Angelo, who's already scored the 4 points. Chance to make that 6 if she can convert both of these. Makes the first one.
Spectres looking very comfortable now, Dave, and in control, and just wrestled back the momentum.
Yep.
And just on the court for the Tawns too. We just had Jordan come on.
Cassie Jordan.
Yeah, she's been around for a while, so they need her experience.
So it's taken probably a little while to adjust to the tempo. This NBL1 level. Paige French also on the court. Here's Abel. Goes right, goes left. Pass didn't make contact there with Cassie Jordan. Out of play.
The Tawns offense just looking a little stagnant nowadays, so they need to get back to that beautiful flow they had in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, the Spectres have certainly steadied. As Antoniadu out to Kira Rowe, who's in. Kira Rowe goes in. She got contact there from Cassie Jordan, did she? Or was it an offensive foul? No. It's a foul against Jordan. So it'll be a side ball. 3 fouls each now.
Just number 13 there too for the Spectres, Dave. Caitlin McLaughlin, she's a fair build. She gave an excellent screen out there earlier at half court. You're going to feel them when you run into her.
A lot of bench players on now. Here's Kate McLaughlin, right on cue. Caitlin McLaughlin. And number 10, Kira Rowe. In goes D'Angelo, having a good game. She gets her own rebound, works her way in for another shot and makes it. 8 points, Chelsea D'Angelo.
There's full court pressure. It's just putting the Tawns off a little bit at the moment. They're going to have to work out how they're going to get through it because it's interfering with their offense.
Spectres are in front after trailing early. Paige French, big shot.
Beck Abel.
Stolen there off D'Angelo by Abel. Beck, Paige French, screen from Hodges. Underneath goes Paige French, pretty optimistic with Shear right over the top of her, and she makes the easy block there. Other end, D'Angelo on fire. Here's a chance, long from Chilcott. No, sorry, Antoniadu. Great basket, Rachel Antoniadu.
Yeah, beautiful ball movement there, Dave. 3 quick passes. It's hard to defend that.
And timeout, I think, was called by Derek Washington. Understandably, they've just lost control of this game. It's Spectres 19, Tornadoes 15. For our radio listeners, we'll take a short break here on City Park Radio. Welcome back to our City Park Radio listeners on 96.5, 103.7, and also our NBL1 live stream viewers. And I just doesn't quite remember what the margin got out to, but I think the Tawns are out by 7 or 8 there early, Scott.
Yeah, they were. I think it was 7 there, Dave.
Yep.
And
they trail by 4.
11-point turnaround, and that's what we talk about as coaches when you want your teams to be offensively gifted, is that you look for runs.
Yep. Look
for offensive runs, and the Spectres are on a massive one here, and the Tawns need to get some back-to-back baskets here to make amends for it.
Ball's with Beck Abel in the backcourt for the Tornadoes. That pass wasn't fantastic, really. It went out of play, but it might have been a bit lucky there for the Tawns. It might have been off the finger of a Spectres player.
It's 2 very, very suspect passes by Beck Abel too.
Just got to steady here, the Tawns. Such a positive start. Stephanie Gardner shouldn't be off the court for too much longer, I think. I thought she started very well. Maybe just getting a bit of jet lag out of the system. There's Paige French into Hodges, up against Shear. That'll be a battle all night. Cassie Jordan falls over, loses control. Stolen away by Antoniado. Into Chelsea D'Angelo. 10 points, double figures already for Chelsea D'Angelo. 21-15.
Yeah, Chelsea D'Angelo had a fantastic game the last time she was down here, David.
She's quick, Scott. She made that transition from defence to offence in the blink of an eye. Just the 18 years of age, 178 centimetres. A fine player.
Cassie Jordan will be very disappointed. She fell over there. It was just unlucky. She went to push off the back foot, and just a little bit of frictionless surface there on the court, David. Couldn't get enough grip, and down she went.
Yeah.
So
we saw the moisture mop out a lot in the men's game earlier.
It's the problem with us men. We sweat a lot, David, and leave a lot of residue behind.
Gardner. Out to Beck, inside in the paint to Hodges. Can't get the shot away though. Great defence. She gives the ball up. Taken here by Tessa Boyd. Great bench depth have the Spectres. Tessa Boyd playing her first minutes. And goes Antoniadou with purpose. Didn't quite make it. Chance now for the Tawns. They need to stem the bleeding here. They're into the last minute of the first quarter. Gardner looking for a way through. Out to the corner. 3-point shot now for Stella Beck, and she makes it with confidence.
They needed that.
That's the second basket for the night from Stella Beck. She's up to 5 points. In fact, sorry, that's her third basket, up to 7 points. 21-18. It was a steadier for the Tawns. Long shot in reply. That was Tessa Boyd from well outside the 3-point line. And that's a magnificent answering basket. Crowd are quiet. 24-18. Steph Gardner at the other end. Top of the paint. Now she's outside the 3-point line. Stella Beck might have got some contact there. There's a whistle. No points count.
The one thing you know from Stella Beck, she's going to be physical down there, but what a luxury to have Tessa Boyd come off your bench as your second guard. It just means there's no weaknesses there because she doesn't make many mistakes. She's great defensively and she'll hit that open shot. 14
foul Spectres, but only 14 seconds left. Shouldn't make too much of an issue. Here's Gardner. She's busy. She's underneath. Big basket here attempted by Beck. Not great. Spills out. 3.6 seconds left. Nunawading ball. Still a chance to score.
Brittany Hodges just the one rebound over. The Spectres doing very good keeping her off the glass, and you can see the impact it's had on the team.
Antoniadou.
All clocked in the start there for 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Long shot. Antoniadou misses as the hooter sounds to end the first quarter here at the Elfin Sports Centre. And the score is Nunawading 24, Tornadoes 18. We might have one time out, Scott. So we'll take a short break. We'll be back here in just a moment. Welcome back to our City Park Radio listeners and also our viewers on the NBL1 live stream, coming live from Elfin Sports Centre. Such a magnificent little stadium here. Might not look palatial, Scotty, but it's all about atmosphere in basketball, isn't it? And that's what is created here with a big crowd in. Yeah, once you're on the court, you don't care what's on the walls, Dave. You just hear what you can hear, and it's definitely some atmospheric down there. It's fantastic. Just going to go through some of the stats if you like, Dave. Please do it.
We'll go from the leading points here. We've got Beck on 7, Hodges on 6, and O'Neill on 3. And D'Angelo's definitely been the standout offensively from both sides on 10. Your girl?
Rachel Antoniadou.
I'm not even going to attempt that. 5 points. And Tessa Boyd on 3. Kathleen Shear's been exceptional. She's got 4 rebounds. I believe she's got the 4 points, and she's also got 3 blocks early in one quarter, Dave. If she gets to 10 blocks, I'll buy her a beer.
Yes, well, you might just do that. As we mentioned, the Tornadoes got out to a handy 7-point lead, I think it was.
That's it.
And they looked full of confidence, but the Spectres settled. And now they hold a comfortable lead leading into the second quarter.
Yeah, the ball movement of the Spectres has just been fantastic to watch, and the Tawns need to work harder defensively if they want to stop them. The field goal percentage for both teams, Dave, both at 47%.
Okay, interesting stat. There's Tessa Boyd. Gets it in out of McLaughlin. Boyd again, sets herself for 3. And that's a big basket at the start of the second quarter.
Oh, she's a good player, Tessa Boyd, Dave. I called it earlier.
27-18. Handy player not to be in your starting 5.
Oh, very handy.
No doubt about that. Hodges puts her arms up and now turns, confronted by Shear. Out to Stella Beck. Tries to get round McLaughlin. Now, I think McLaughlin committed a foul there, as she just moved in the path of Stella Beck.
Yeah, she's been unlucky. Stella Beck kind of lost her feet and went down there because she was pretty upright.
Nobody in real foul trouble yet. I can just see ones up and down the board, so no concerns there early in this second quarter. Oh, Steph Gardner out to Beck. Stella Beck, the New Zealander, into the lane and puts up a 2-point attempt. Standing up beautifully. She might have got contact there, did she, Scott?
Yeah, she did. Going to have an opportunity for an AM1. She was pretty solid from the line last week, Dave. I think she only missed a 1 free throw from, I think it was 7 attempts, if my memory serves me correctly.
She's up to 9 points with 1 to come.
That's it. She's filling in that hole at the moment that they're missing as that third shooter.
Oh,
and as soon as I
one,
talk
they
her up,
might get the offensive rebound, which is a bonus. So it's with Gardner. Goes in, nice bounce pass, off balance, beautiful shot from Brittany Hodges. Gets the 2, margin back to 5. As the Spectres now with McLaughlin, Chilcott, and Shear was stripped of the ball, but she was contacted, I think.
Good
Score
foul.
doesn't count.
It was a good foul, Dave, because
Cassie Jordan.
That's what you like to see as a coach.
She was going to score, wasn't she?
She was going to score. That
Yeah.
was bankable 2 points there.
But she hadn't started shooting yet.
That's it. And it's been interesting. I've been watching Shear because when she's got the ball, the Tawns are very aware of her and they're double teaming and she's finding the open player like Tessa Boyd. And then they're willing to go off it. The help defense has been very poor in the decision. You just can't leave Kathleen Shear. You have to make Chilcott score that basket.
Yep.
Because Kathleen Shear will score that basket. You just can't leave her 2 feet from the basket.
Kira Rowe to Chilcott. Shear facing away from the basket, takes her time. Now goes looking for a little pass there to McLaughlin, didn't come off. Good defense, Tornadoes. Gardner looks for a way through, little pass to Partridge. Not sure what Ali Partridge is trying to do there, and it ends up with a Spectres ball. As Ali Partridge and her opponent hit the deck there. She's got no space under the basket there, Les Scott. They're just rock solid in defence, the Spectres.
As a leading point guard, there's a bit of a disappointing option there from Gardner. It would have been good if it was a bigger player she was passing to, but when you're passing to a point guard who's got to get through 3 players on the baseline,
she nearly could have had a shot herself.
That's it. She's got to take that decision and just she's sort of feeling. We've got to remember she's feeling away with her teammates, but she'll learn that as the leader of the team.
McLaughlin. Out to Kira Rowe.
Stella Beck is playing some great defence on the basket, Dave. We'll talk about that in the next break.
As a long shot comes in there from Tessa Boyd, and that's her second 3 for this quarter. That puts a margin back out to 8. She's up to 9 points now, Tessa Boyd. I think they might be all 3s. I'll get you to check that later, Scotty.
I will, and she's what we would call in the business, Dave, a per-minute monster when it comes to stats.
Oh, and there's a big clash on the 3-point line between Stella Beck and Kiera Rowe. That's a foul, I think, against Stella Beck, who gets up a little bit gingerly. Wowzers, that was a huge contact.
It was a good strike. It's she was going for the ball, though, so it wasn't a deliberate lineup. And, it was good. Kira Rowe just bounced straight back up. I think Stella Beck might have been more hurt than Kira Rowe was.
Yeah. It's potentially a tough clash, that one, as Kira Rowe's pass is not a great one.
Good idea, Dave, just 4 feet too high.
So the Tawns, didn't write down the quarter time score. Scott, you just got the box score there just a little bit higher. So it was, I might write this down, it was 26-18, I think, at quarter time.
24-18.
24-18. So
yeah, 6-point difference.
Oh, now out to 8 points. Stella Beck. Need to magnify your screen there, Scotty. It's very hard to read. That's better.
Yeah, spring chickens, their eyesights are pretty good.
That's it. As Beck Abel
beautiful
gets
pass.
it to Beck, who steadies and puts it in for 2. Having a good game, Stella Beck. Back to 6. Boyd into Shear.
Oh, offensive foul, David.
Yep.
They called it for the hook.
There we go. Talk to us about that one, Scotty.
Oh, it's the move you pray you never get called for, Dave, and that's when you hook your arm around your defender and use them as leverage, and you can just push yourself past them. But generally you get hidden a little bit. But she's unlucky, and you see Kathleen, she's shaking her head going, come on, we're both making body contact there. Let us play. Just let us play. But it is technically an offensive foul.
Good call by the ref is Beck Abel. Underneath to Hodges. Should have finished the job, but didn't. So, transition now with Spectres.
Just watching Derek Washington, he threw his clipboard on the ground with disgust
there. And that's a good basket there off the glass by Kathleen Shear. She's starting to come into the game. Beck. Well, that's a tough shot. Yeah, she might have got contact there by one of those two players that were guarding her attempt at shooting there. Let's see how many fingers Nick Draper puts up.
Just in terms of the Tawns' momentum there, Dave, I don't think they want Kathleen Shear to get angry because she tends to start taking more shots, and that's the last thing they want.
Foul was on Tessa Boyd. Now, is that her second or third foul?
Leave it to me, I'll find out.
The scoreboard might not have updated. It might only be a second foul.
Well, Tessa Boyd, she's down. That's her second foul.
Second foul, okay.
But if we look at the rest of her stat line, exceptional. 9 points, 100% field goal percentage.
Back on play, Stella Beck scores her 12th point as the margin narrows to 7. This is the second one.
Jeez, as soon as I talk them up for their free throw, Dave, they can't hit them.
Dragging in the rebound with Shear. It's with Chilcott.
Look at Kathleen, she's getting involved
Kira
now.
Rowe underneath to Shear. They should make this basket. She does. She's just such a presence there. She reads the play beautifully.
Up to 6 points.
9, and backcourt Gardner loses the handle but gets it back again. Oh, and then she goes at Kira Rowe, who commits the foul.
See what, Dave, Kira Rowe moves well for her height. In a forward body there, but she was able to keep up with Steph Gardner. Gardner was in trouble. There was about to be the 8 count in the backcourt there.
That snuck up, Scotty. We're into 5 team fouls.
Yeah, well, it's good for the
6
Tawns.
minutes 35 left in the second quarter.
Well, if you're an offensive player on the Tawns team now, you'd be thinking every time you get the ball, drive.
Yep.
Body contact.
And that could well have been the tactic of Gardner there, I think. She did go forcefully down the court.
Nice
she
shot.
makes the first one. 26-34.
Apart from that shot that she had blocked, though, she's moved well, Gardner. Some questionable passes and in her decision making, but like we said, they'll improve.
And she makes the second. Margin to 7. Chilcott to Kira Rowe. Sorry, that's Shear over there. No, that was Rowe. I got it right the first time.
Oh, great defense.
Well done by Cassie Jordan. Good involvement there from the veteran. Beck Abel, long, out to Beck. Left, right, underneath, in the paint. Puts up the shot. Great defense by Shear. The shot was either blocked or she was put off the shot.
She's just got great timing under there. Fantastic. And they know it, the Tawns are intimidated trying to get in.
Chilcott tries to find a way through. Beck does beautifully. Beck Abel gets over to Sarah O'Neill. He's back on the court after a bit of an absence.
Oh, great.
The pass wasn't fantastic. It was knocked away by D'Angelo. Out of the clutches there of Cassie Jordan. Tornadoes ball.
She saved a certain 2 points there, David. That was fantastic. She's fast. She went from the top of the key then. And half second got there and just timed it perfectly. Lucky not to give away a foul. She absolutely bowled Jordan over there.
I mean, it's fantastic for Cassie Jordan to come back. She hasn't played at this level for a while. And with a player shortage due to the junior championships.
She looks fit though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's having an impact, is basically setting screens for her scorers.
Long shot there from just inside the 3-point line to Gardner. So she's hit the scoreboard there, Steph Gardner. First game in the country. Import from the United States as Shear fade away. Right in front. Couple of points. Margin out to 7.
And they're big in Brittany Hodges off the floor. They're going to go to Steph every play.
Sorry, Gardner again. Doesn't get this one. So she's starting to get more confident to take some shots.
Good pass.
So 8 points.
What play?
Is that Shear, Scotty? If it was. I took my eye off the action.
That was D'Angelo that went under for the reverse layup there, but she just
7.
Total control of that.
O'Neill, fantastic shot. Sarah O'Neill underneath the basket. So, it's end-to-end stuff. High standard NBL1 basketball here on the NBL1 live stream in City Park Radio, locally in Launceston. Sheer turns, left-handed shot.
Move.
She just gets space, Scott, doesn't it? Where you don't think there is any space, she creates it.
We try to teach all the youngsters, Dave, the little head fakes and the body jerks, and she just got to do it hard. She just gets them off the floor. Very hard to move your feet when you're not on the floor, Dave. There's another block.
There's taking it away now, the Spectres. Chilcott has a free run down and just an easy layup there for Rebecca Pizzi. And the Tawns just couldn't get back. It was a bit of a training drill that time for the Spectres, right through the lane.
Nunawading up to 62% from the field, David.
And up to 11 points in front. Gardner into the corner. Beck Abel can't make the three-point attempt. Taken away by Chilcott. D'Angelo, look away pass into the corner. Kira Rowe tries to make the three. Rebounded by Tornadoes. 4 minutes left.
They just need a back-to-back play there.
Could hear ourselves there for a second, Scotty. Stephanie Gardner. Long shot. And a lovely shot there by O'Neill.
Hasn't she stepped up in the last 90 seconds?
Right in front, outside the three-point line. She gets the triple. It's a margin back under double figures. 42-34. Got a timeout called. I didn't see who called that timeout, Scott. It must have been the Tornadoes, I think. The one's gone up. We'll take a short break here for our radio listeners from Melbourne Sports Centre. Nunawading 42, Tornadoes 34. You're listening to NBL1 action here at Elfin Sports Centre. If you're listening, you're probably listening on City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5, or you're watching the NBL1 live stream. And Scotty, interesting first 6.5 minutes of that quarter. We're nearly at half time.
Absolutely.
But Nunawading 42, Tornadoes 34.
Just want to put out Kathleen Shear just having a rest, but let me read out the stats before at her half. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks. Exceptional.
Yep.
The word that goes with that.
She's even 100% from the free throw line, so
yep, she's
hard to fault that performance.
Hell of a player. 4 turnovers, but we'll let her off, Dave.
Okay, so it's a Sabres. I knew I was going to say that after last week. It's a Spectres ball with Rachel Antoniadou. Little dink over the top to Chelsea D'Angelo. D'Angelo inside. Pizzi, 2 points and contact. So just seeing who committed the foul there. Might have been Sarah O'Neill, I think.
Now, Pizzi's been very, very good, Dave. We haven't called her name that much, but what she's been doing off the ball is every time there's been a drive, she's just been setting fantastic off-ball screens to create space and allowing the Spectres just to get open layups at will down there. She's been very, very smart.
And there's extra there converted by Pizzi. 45-34. O'Neill. Can't find a way. Now puts up a shot. Gee, she's playing well. Is O'Neill.
And look at Derek watching. I don't know if we had the camera on him. He might have danced off the image there, but jeez.
And she's been contacted as well. So another attempt here at an extra point. So one at the other end of the court.
Sarah O'Neill, 17 years of age, taking it right up to him.
So how many points is Sarah up to now, Scotty?
Sarah O'Neill, David, is now up to... she's hit that 9 points.
9 points, so it's a decent first half from Sarah O'Neill. Margin is 8. Can't quite get any further inroads at the moment, the Tawns, as D'Angelo puts up the shot. And they get it back to 8, out to 10, 12. Just would love to get back in touching distance at half time. Here goes Gardner. Out to...
Sarah O'Neill.
O'Neill again. Goodness.
She's
from
on
the
fire.
Corner. She is on fire, Sarah O'Neill. Margin 6.
And there's another silly foul by Brittany Hodges. It's a coach killer, that one. She didn't need to do that. I called Sarah O'Neill's name before the game, David. I said if she could just make a few shots. She was getting fantastic looks last week. She just gets to the basket, and she's riding that confidence. And Beck Abel was just coming off, having a very, very quiet game. 2
fouls to Hodges, 14 fouls to the Tawns. So next time around, they'll go to the line, the Spectres. Spectres, of course, also in team foul trouble. They're already on their 5. Tessa Boyd. D'Angelo. Turns, shoots from inside the three-point line, can't make it. Rebounded by Jordan. O'Neill having a purple patch. And she might have been contacted under the basket as well.
There it is. She goes to the free throw line here too, Dave.
And Derek Washington is animated at the moment.
Yeah, well, they're back within 6. And like I said last week, if the Tawns are under that double-digit mark, they are a threat.
Well, we saw that last week. They got behind early and they got back within 1 point in that last quarter. So we know they can fight back.
That's it. And that lead got out to 17 points last week. So they're not afraid to let it blow out because they know they're a bit like the Houston Rockets in the NBA, Dave. They score very, very fast and very quickly. That's
14 points now to O'Neill. Make that 15. He's got some substitutions happening. Margin is only 4 points here at Elfin Sports Centre.
And Brittany Hodges, Dave, the team's leading rebounder for the season, only on 2 rebounds.
And Sarah O'Neill, what a magnificent few minutes she's had. Spectres, how are they going to answer this challenge from the Tornadoes? We've got 2.5 minutes left till half time. Tessa Boyd stands up for the shot, makes it, low trajectory. Confident shot, Tessa Boyd. And she's racking up points. She's out to double figures now, 2 with 11. Almost a confrontation there, but Stella Beck held her ground. Out to Gardner, margin 6. Gardner finds some space, then has to stop. Paige French, long shot. She's just not on target tonight. Rebounded by D'Angelo. They'll build again, the Spectres. She's got Antoniadu to her right, but she goes a little pass to left. Now it's with Antoniadu. Shea. D'Angelo, 18-year-old, playing well tonight. Shot from 45 on the left-hand side there from Pizzi. Rebounded by Shea offensively, and that's her range. She makes the 2. Now a referee is having a chat to Derek Washington. A bit of finger pointing there.
Oh, you don't see that from the umpire very often.
And I don't know if Derek's in any trouble here. Might be just a warning.
Yeah. He's explaining it now, the umpire. He's saying, no.
Okay,
You've made your point.
Keep an eye on that.
Gee, good size, the umpire. I'll back him in from there.
Gardner out to Beck, who shoots straight away.
Flat.
Yep, at the front of the ring.
Yeah, Hodges being held on to there. Should be a bit filthy that the foul got called because he finally got another rebound. And they won't count that as a stat. But, yeah, I think they were saying then Derek Washington was trying to say that Kathleen Shea hooked again. But, geez, I tell you what, you've got to respect the 10-foot finger roll, Dave. That brings back the 70s George Gervin style. Fantastic to watch.
Scotty, a student of the game, as Hodges misses the first one. Margin 8. Hodges on 8 points. Don't think the scoring's working on the Tornadoes scoreboard. We'll have to rely on your live stats here. Scotty, as Hodges makes the second one. The applause of the crowd.
At 42-49, 7-point difference.
Tessa Boyd. Antoniadu, minute 18 left. Boyd. Little pass over to Shea. Open shot for Pizzi. Easy one for her, Rebecca Pizzi. She's up to 11 points now. 51-42. Gardner dribbles behind her back. Beck to French, inside to Hodges, against Shea. Hodges has to go back out to Gardner. Shot clock at 8. Gardner dribbles behind her back again. Pass to the corner to French. 3 left on the shot clock. Confronted by Antoniadu, who makes the steal to Pizzi. Into Boyd. Oh, and Boyd's pass, not a good one. Man, for D'Angelo. He dodged a bullet there, the Tawns.
Absolutely. Geez, the ball movement for the Tawns looks absolutely stagnant.
Yeah, they got back in the game there through O'Neill. They got back within 4 points, but margin's back out to 9. Couple of plays left in this half. O'Neill. Beck, right-hand side, 45. Goes for the 3 to Stella Beck. Not on this occasion. Rebounded easy by D'Angelo. And I think they'll take their full shot clock here. No, they'll go quickly to Antoniadu.
Oh!
And Sarah O'Neill gets the call of contact. That's only a second foul, but they'll go to the line, the Spectres.
I think it's lucky Derek Washington was actually talking to his assistant coach. The trail ref just called a block, which was meant to be called by the baseline ref. That is a terrible decision. The baseline ref, the guy closest to the ball, Dave, said that was clean. And the guy furthest from the ball called the foul. That's that makes you shiver as a coach.
Scotty, referee's mate. Antoniadu converts a couple of free throws. It's back out to 11, and it's not what the Tawns wanted in this last few minutes, Scott, because they got within that 4 points.
That's it.
Right back in the contest.
They're making some lazy decisions on the offensive end too, settling for the easy three.
They'd love a basket here because there's only 7 seconds left. This one's got a fall for Beck. Nope. Rebounded O'Neill, puts it up quickly, and she makes it right on the buzzer.
Great shot. If I was a Tornado player, I'd be putting the ball in Sarah O'Neill's hand. She's on fire, David. On fire.
And Derek Washington just came up and really said, well done. Well done, Sarah. What a great quarter of basketball from you. I think that puts her up to
15 points, David.
15 points.
Makes her the top scorer on the court, I believe. Yep.
I think it might be 17, Scott, because I might just update a minute. Anyway, we're at half-time here at the Elephant Sports Centre. It's Nunawading 53, Tornadoes 44. So they extended the lead in that quarter. The Nunawading Spectres out to that 9 points. And a game that was really fluctuating there, Scott, in that second quarter. Both teams sort of getting a bit of momentum, but really in the end, the Spectres are well on top.
Absolutely, and the score could have blown out there to about 22 points, and the Tawns actually took it right up to about a 3-point difference there for a moment, and they were able to work their way back into it. Of course, the Spectres are just completely controlling their offensive end, and their field goal percentage has been out of control, and their ball movement's been outstanding. So the Tawns have to work harder on the defensive end and just getting too many easy baskets, but offensively not looking too bad.
Now, Scotty, make way for our special guest, and just to Chris back in the studio, we've got a special guest who's able to join us at half time, a legend of Tasmanian and Australian basketball. So we'll have we'll go back for some messages in a little while, but it's with great pleasure I welcome to City Park Radio and to our commentary position and the NBL1 live stream. Here he is, Dave Buer. G'day, Dave.
Yeah, g'day.
Oh, I better turn your microphone on. Let's do that again. G'day.
G'day. Thanks for having me.
It's great. What's it like to be back in Tassie?
Back in Tassie, back at Elephant Stadium, 1991. I think first stadium I played in 30 years ago, I guess.
I saw
great to be here.
I saw you standing up before the game tonight, just having a look and taking it all in. All those memories.
Yeah, all those memories, getting off the plane. I had played a small stint in Sydney, but Tassie was kind of where I kind of found my home. So walking back in and remembering the moments of getting off the plane, kind of so far, I think I was only like 24 years old or something. So a bit of an adventure for me, and next thing you know, kind of put the pegs down, and I've stayed here now.
Yeah.
So it's a great spot.
Let's go back to the history there, Dave. What first brought you to Australia? Who was the first club or the first approach? And what were you doing in the States at the time?
At the time, I was playing, I guess, the Pro-Am in terms of basketball.
Yep.
I had a business degree, so I was starting my work life. And a guy named Joe Downs, which a lot of Tasmanians will know, came back home on the off season, and we were playing on a Pro-Am team together. And he said, "Hey, I got a team in Penguin and I got a team in Launceston that wouldn't mind having you." And my wife at the time was working for Boeing, and I guess we just want to, pack up the thing and have a look at it for a year. And, a lot of things have changed since then, but 30 years later, it's a good spot, and I love it.
Might tell our listeners and viewers that Dave's team, the Nunawading Spectres, had a good win over the Thunder in the first game here this evening. What was it like playing against the Thunder? Because that was one of the clubs you had a lot to do with in the early days.
Yeah. I mean, after leaving Launceston, I started playing with the originals. We were so coming at even at Hobart. I played down in Chargers last night as well. So it does feel a lot like home, whether it's in Launceston, whether it's against the Thunder or against the originals in my world, or the Chargers or the Huskies. Any of these name changes. It was great. And I get a warm welcome. So I have to remind a lot of people of what it was like. So. Not as much memory as I would like.
And northwest coast of Tassie is a real, if I use the term, basketball heartland, isn't it? Like each of those towns and the NWBU league, it's still strong, but back when you played, it was so many good players. Each team had their own imports. Yeah,
each team had at least 2 imports, and you were getting to play an extra game on a Tuesday night. And for a lot of imports back then, it was score. So Tuesday night just taught you to score even more. So. I heard that there's not as many imports up there, but there's still a great following. I stay in touch with Phil Thomas quite a bit and Mark Radford, so I know what's going on up there.
Scotty, you got a question for Dave?
Oh, absolutely. Well, not so much a question. When I was a kid and playing on state teams, we had to go down there first at Moona Stadium and then out to the netball courts out there when they put up the big one, and we had to go watch Dave play. And this is back when Mark Chivers was the coach, and we had Banner and Robbie Inches and Willie Joseph and Mark Nash, Anthony Stewart. I can remember watching all these guys. Now you guys went all the way, of course, and won the national championship there. How hard is it for our listeners? How hard is it to go to Journey? Because your roster was incredible, and you guys, I think you got to get to that final twice, and that just shows you how difficult it is to get there.
It is. We were talking last night a little bit about some of the I guess the winning streaks and how hard it is to not just load a team up, because I think the year before that we were fully loaded with most of the Devils players, and we fell a little bit short. So chemistry has a lot to do with it. When I'm coaching nowadays, the first word I put up is intensity. So you can overcome talent with a bit of intensity. So I think as the culture grew down there, same with the Thunder or whatever we want to call them, as that intensity started to build as a culture, and there was an expectation of playing hard and getting the loose ball, you started to see national championships kind of arise. So
absolutely. And do you find yourself in the coaching seat now wanting to sub yourself in?
My first year, I was telling guys, we won the national championship my first year, and I barely coached, because I didn't know how to coach them. I wanted to just check myself in and say, do it like this. But as you got older and fatter, you kind of relinquish, and I might embellish the stories a little bit about what I used to do instead of showing them how to do it.
He was good, Dave. He was very, very good.
Yes, indeed. Exciting times for Tassie basketball. We had one of the imports, Jalen, from the Southern Huskies up in Port.
New guy, right?
Yeah, he's a big unit.
Yeah,
big boy.
2 hours in. It reminded me, actually, he was sitting out in front of Elfin Stadium, and I thought, he's dealing the same thing as I was dealing with 30 years ago, like, oh, where am I, and that kind of thing. Cincinnati kid, right?
Did you ever chat to him?
Yeah, I had a quick chat to him. So I think he told me he got in like 2 hours ago. Yeah, that's right. So he's getting a feel of what it's like, because Tassie is strong basketball is strong down in Tassie, same as Victoria. There's a big, huge following in terms of participation, and obviously, like we talked about, along the Northwest Coast with all those little, NWBU teams. So, yeah, it'll be a good little eye-opener for him.
A segue to my next question, because it's exciting times with the Southern Huskies in the New Zealand League, and we're hoping it's a pathway back to the NBL. How great would it be to have Tasmania back at that level again?
Oh, unbelievable. I was around when they folded, and it was so sad. And we gave it a big red-hot shot to get them back in 90, I think it was 96 or 98 or something. So to see Justin Hickey and the boys trying to get them back in, I think not only Tassie is hoping it's happening. You hear a lot of good things in Victoria as well. They want that national competition, and to get that, you got to have a team in Tassie.
Yeah,
absolutely. Fantastic. Now, you've been watching the game, Dave. If you were coaching the Tawns right now, what would be the message to get them back in the game?
Their point guard, she got all kinds of handles, so I would keep getting her in the paint and kicking it out. If I was Nunawading, I'd be really nervous about squeezing like they're doing. So I think it's just a matter of hitting shots right now and not hitting shots. So, the Catherine Nunawading's pretty impressive.
She's pretty good.
She keeps it pretty simple, doesn't she?
Absolutely.
I want to say it reminds me of me, but I think she might be too good.
Her footwork under the basket, we're just in marvel of, and her timing on the block shot. She had 4 block shots in the up to the half there. It's just incredible. She's got a full game of stats at the moment at the half. It's hard to compete against.
And Dave, the NBL1, the concept of it, of course, the Seagull has changed to the NBL1, and it looks like it's a great competition.
Yeah, unbelievable. I feel like the competition is the same, for those that have been in it long, but the awareness of it, and that we're relevant, with all this media exposure and social media and hype around the whole thing. It kind of, I know from a player's point of view, what I'm hearing in the change room is they love it, because it makes them feel relevant. A lot of them have, jobs during the day, but basketball is their passion. And so now they got this media following, and the NBL and NBL1 trying to promote them. Yeah, I think they love it.
And it's a chance, or it's a pathway through to the NBL for some of these younger players, especially, to get that opportunity by showing what they can do at this level.
Yeah, exactly. And coaches in the NBL, they don't have to be at the venue. They don't have to travel to Launceston. They're going to get great streaming. My partner she's watching the game. She was watching our game, and she's like, it's almost better than being there. I know that's not great for attendance, but when we're talking about live streaming and this commentary and making it fun, yeah, she actually loves it. I'm sure she's just one of many.
You pleased with your team tonight, the way they went?
Yeah, we're old hands, so a lot of times when we come up against the young ones, it's not unfair, but I'm not doing much. The old guys, the old guys just know what to do, and we ended up getting the win. And I guess we put a stop on Trey a little bit, and that kind of helped things. So.
And Simon Conn there, he's 36, but he looks like he can play another 10 years. He just goes up and down the court and does his thing. And,
exactly, just finds some space, and shuffles his way up and back, and he's long, and he's a big body. You ever have to push him for any reason, maybe you want a beer or something, try to get him out of the way. It ain't happening. He's a big lad.
And talking about big boys, Dave, I've always wanted to ask someone this, but Willie Joseph has had a lot to do with Tassie basketball, and I was having a chat with him last year, and I know he'll be listening tonight, and he was telling me back when he was playing at the Chargers, because his weight now looks like he's playing weight back when he played. He said, I barely trained, I just rocked up at enough. How did he get up and down the court? The man was a monster.
The man was a monster. I mean, I guess you got to look at Charles Barkley and kind of think the same thing, because I know going against him, I'd always felt a little bit like Charles Barkley. You thought he was small, but he had those little crafty little hooks, and then he'd smile at you after he scored, which I didn't like. So,
he told me he came in at 120 kgs.
Yeah,
so that's a big guy.
He told me he was on a veggie diet right now. So you never know. We might not even see him next time we see him. He might have whittled away.
Oh, I'd have to see it to believe it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Dave, just a final question. How do you see the state of basketball in Australia? I mean, we've got players playing in the NBA. We've got a revitalised NBL. Lots of people coming out to this level, and lots of junior participation. The game's pretty healthy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I feel like it's on the back of the NBL and what they've done from a media standpoint, really put a vibe back into the sport. And, all kinds of forms. I coach the Australian 3-on-3 team, so there's new formats going in. And, that one allows everyone to get immediate minutes. There's not a lot of sitting on the sidelines. It's physical. And I think they said it's up over 1 million people are playing the game right now. So, I mean, I didn't hand count them, but that's what I'm hearing. So,
fantastic.
And I know there's a vibe from a viewer side of things as well, which is great, because I think for a long time a lot of people were playing but not much watching. But I definitely feel an uptake in interest in the sport.
Fantastic. Dave, we've got to get back to the studio to pay some bills with a few of our promotions. So thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me. That was great.
That was Dave Buer here at halftime on City Park Radio. Really appreciate his time. We're back in just a moment. Welcome back to our City Park Radio listeners, 103.7, 96.5, our community station covering local sport here in northern Tasmania, and also our NBL1 live stream viewers. It's a fantastic contest here. Nunawading in control, but their lead is not unassailable by any means. Scott Brown.
That's right, Dave. It's just looking at 9 points. Anything under 10 is it's very, very doable. That's especially with half to go. I mean, I wouldn't be panicking if there was 5 minutes to go. It'll be with alarm stations there. But you heard it from Dave Buer there.
Wasn't that a great interview? I really enjoyed doing that. Yeah.
He's a great bloke, and I remember watching it. He was great with the kids. He'd stay back after the games. He'd do signatures. He'd go around the schools and do basketball camps, and the man had a very basic philosophy, and that was just keep banking it off the backboard, and he was incredible. He's automatic. It was 25 points, 12 rebounds every game minimum.
And you can see that affection for Tasmania still there in his comments initially.
Absolutely.
So we might just go through the 30 seconds we've got left before play resumes, just some of the leading scorers.
Absolutely. Just racking them up here. Right. Well, who would have thought it? But Sarah O'Neill leading all comers with 17 points in a 6-minute display. It was just phenomenal. With Beck on 12 and Hodges on 9. And of course, Shear leading the way there for Nunawading with 12. D'Angelo on 12's quieting down a bit. And Boyd, I called it early, she's just a phenomenal stat getter. She's
and
there
the
on
boards?
11. On the boards, Shear with 9. And 5 to Chilcott, 3 to Pizzy. Abel with 3, Hodges with 3, and O'Neill with 2. And the story there is Shear shutting down Hodges' impact there.
And Steph Gardner leading the assists, Scotty.
She is. She's got double what anyone else has with 4, and Rowe with 2 on the other end there. And just on the field goal percentages, Dave, 60%. I'll just repeat that. 60% from Nunawading.
Wow.
So not taking as many shots, but they're knocking them all down. So incredible shooting, 100%. Their team yet to miss from the free throw line.
And Taun's 47, which in a lot of games had...
But they were 32 last week, though.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Big difference.
Back underway. So I better put the effects mic up so we can get a bit of atmosphere here. That's better. So it's with Stella Beck to Hodges. Up against Shear. Hodges puts a shot up and misses. O'Neill scrambling for the ball. Might have been off the Spectres' hand there because it's going to be a Tornadoes ball. We haven't seen a jump ball tonight, Scotty.
Yeah.
Seen the arrow.
Yeah, good.
Yes, I know you don't like that.
Oh, stupid rule.
There's Steph Gardner.
Just Sarah O'Neill involved in that hustle play there too, Dave. She's up and about.
Hodges to Beck. O'Neill, 17 points, stand out tonight. To the corner to Partridge. Shot under pressure, but makes the 2 from the corner. That's a pretty clutch basket early on in this second half. Margin back to 7.
Just love watching Ali Partridge play. All hustle.
100%. There's no doubt about that. With Shear. Turns, but then dishes off. Into Chilcott. Nowhere to go. Back to Shear. Strong defence here, but that won't stop Shear, although she misses that one. She normally gobbles those up. Chilcott, though, gets the offensive rebound.
And Stella Beck is just absolutely loving the physicality that Kathleen Shear's going. If you're watching on our screen,
underneath Becky is open there for the layup off the glass. Nice pass from D'Angelo. The Tawns just left the part of the Red Sea there and left that space open.
They did. For those watching the stream, just watch Stella Beck and Kathleen Shear on the off-ball action. It's fantastic to watch.
Gardner puts up a shot, bit low trajectory. It's the front of the ring, falls out. No points. Nice pace down the court from Chilcott. Gets Antoniadu cruising by, then to Shear, who turns and puts up the shot. Can't make it. She hits the deck. Shear, a little bit gingerly. She grimaces. Keep an eye on that, Scotty. It's up the other end is Sarah O'Neill. It puts it up for 2. 19 points for Sarah.
As we mentioned before, Dave, I reckon her leg would have to fall off for her not to play.
True. She's up.
She moves well for a centre. Just in awe. Every time she touches the ball, you feel like something's going to happen.
Here's Antoniadu. Little pass towards Shear. Who gets it the second grab.
Great pass.
Then a nice pass towards Pizzy. He gets more points. That's her second couple of points now. 4 points for this third quarter. Steph Gardner, first game for the Tawns. Third import. To Hodges, another import. He puts up the open 2. And score is coming freely at the moment for both teams. Back to 7 points. 50-57. It was 9 at the half. They've gained a couple. Antoniadu. Shear. Will nearly lose the handle. Out to D'Angelo. Moves in with purpose into the lane and puts it up for 2 off the glass and makes it.
You just get that feeling D'Angelo's going to explode any minute now and pop out 10 quick points.
Up to 14 points. Scored heavily early. Had 10 points in a hurry. Gardner over the top to Beck. Stella Beck. Tension there from D'Angelo. Beck has to dish out. Partridge thinks about the 3. Inside now for Partridge. A player has hit the deck. And that's Stella Beck. And that's a foul committed on Stella Beck. We're looking at the fouls at the moment. Nobody in the game is above 2. So no one in real trouble.
Yeah, Chilcott that was just a second there, Dave, so you're right. Yep. Individually, they're all looking fine.
Hodges skips in. Now Shear put up a leg there.
What do you call that? They're all looking at each other. The umpires have never seen it.
She's smiling. It's like the old trip in the footy where you put the leg out. Even Nick Draper, the referee, he's smiling about that one because you don't often see that one.
That's it. It's
paint the picture for our radio listeners, Scott.
Oh, well, she stuck the big boot out, and I actually think it's gone on top of the ball, and I don't think it actually touched Brittany Hodges there. It could almost be a foot violation. I don't think it might have been a foul.
And
that's what the umpires are saying. Is that we don't actually know she's actually touched the player.
And there's giggling all around. I don't think anybody can believe that. So,
Dave, I've never ever seen that happen.
No, there you go. You've watched a lot of basketball.
Oh, she's blocked 4 shots already. I'm going to put that down as a 5th block.
Hodges makes the first. And not the second. It's margin 8. Oh, Shear. She's stripped of the ball by Partridge. And getting to the ball first there was Beck. And Toniadu was second to the ball, and she's not happy. She thought it was a 50-50 situation.
Toniadu's she's been quiet, David. She's been well held, and you just know it's only moments away before she lights up because she's averaging close to 22 points a game. She's just telling the umpire there, don't call another one on me, mate.
Young Nick Draper, he's calm in that situation.
Fantastic umpire.
There we go. Here's Stella Beck, turns, finds space, great basket, move. Stella Beck.
Back to 6, David.
She found space where there was none and wove her way through. Back to 6 points, you're right, Scotty, and we've got another turnover here.
Block shot by Brittany Hodges there, good defence.
The Tons are coming. Beck, she tries to go herself now. Did she get it knocked out of her hand? She did. For a second there, she might have lost the handle, but was knocked out of her grasp.
The poor girl on the baseline there just got falconed by the ball. She's acting tough though, but I would have gone down crying. That would have hurt.
Big crowd here tonight. Plenty of people in the bar behind us. Here goes Hodges off the glass. Can't make it. Toniadu. That would have brought it back to 4.
Hodges threatening as well on 12 points.
Haven't been this close for a little while, the Tawns. A lot of time left in this basketball game. There's no doubt about that. Toniadu to Shear. Shear the pass. Fumbled there by Pizzi, out of play.
Yeah, that was a good pass by Shear too. Just a little bit behind the player though. She's got good vision.
All of a sudden the Spectres starting to lose a little bit of composure.
That's it. They're just forcing the play at the moment. I'm surprised that they haven't been setting some screens for Kathleen Shear to get open and 1-on-1. She's their go-to player. But it shows you the spread of confidence they have across their whole team.
Sarah O'Neill to Hodges. Passes it behind her back to O'Neill. Gardner, nice this way, that away. And the pass to Abel is just too high. Can't take the overhead mark. It's out of play off her fingertips.
Scoring-wise, David, Becca Abel's only put up the 1 shot. So they would have watched the game for last week, and they're working very hard to make sure she doesn't get that very first one in.
So much video about now, which is great on these players. It's not hard to research your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. So on the preparation is here. Nice pass underneath to Antoniadu, doesn't finish the job.
Now,
probably a basket she probably should have made.
Absolutely, people won't notice that, but Sarah O'Neill switched off her player beautifully then, put the pressure on. She's just having the most outstanding game she's had in the career.
Now we've got an offensive foul, and Hodges drops her head there. I think she could be the first one in the game up to 3 fouls.
That's it. She dropped her shoulder and just hit the Spectre player in the chest then.
And we're going to the other end.
Yeah, they're going to rest her for that last quarter, I reckon, Dave. But watch Kathleen Shear step up a gear here, because without Brittany Hodges going on her back, it's going to be tough. Stella Beck's just going to have to stand strong here. So
Hodges on 3, so maybe she'll be off for too long. Not at panic stations just yet. But you're right, Scotty, they'll miss her physical presence as Shear turns for a shot and doesn't drop. Contested ball back out to Shear. She goes in, she gets fouled and makes 2. And there'll be an extra one here.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Nicholas Draper. That was she's pretty straight up there, but he felt she must have leaned into the score there. And that's what Kathleen Shear does. Once she gives that head fake going, unfortunately, she can pretty much get you to foul anytime she wants. So, and I expect Kathleen Shear, Dave, just watching the stat line here, she's just quietly working her way to a triple-double. So I'll just keep an eye on that, because you don't see that very often at this level. So Shear, and she misses the extra. So margin
out to, I think it should be 8 points, but anyway, I'll just get that in a minute. I thought it was 6 at the moment.
Dave, it is 8 points, 53-61.
So the scoreboard hasn't updated as Stella Beck gets a shot blocked nicely by Pizzi.
Great work, Pizzi. Up
the court they go now, through Chilcott to Shear. Antoniadu to Pizzi, 6 points this quarter, Rebecca Pizzi. She's come right into the game. And I make it 63-53. We'll wait on that. Yep, they've corrected it now. Up goes the shot. Scotty, I didn't see who made that shot.
Was Gardner. She's up to 8 points now, Dave. 8 points, 5 assists. Definitely having an impact.
Marching back to 8. Shear, Chilcott contemplates the 3. Goes to Shear, who turns. Hits the front of the ring. Just off target a little bit, Kathleen Shear in the last minute or 2.
Kathleen Shear almost pulled off a miracle.
And Stella Beck was going to let that go out. But Shear just came from nowhere to try and retrieve it.
I don't know if you can pick it up on the live stream, but when Kathleen Shear puts her arms down by her sides, she can almost scratch her knees without bending, Dave. Incredible physique.
Some substitutions.
And the Tawns need to start setting some screens and Beck Abel and get her involved.
Cassie Jordan on the court, replacing Sarah O'Neill for the Launceston Tornadoes. Partridge hands back to Gardner. Gardner in the corner, corralled. Out to Cassie Jordan, nearly makes the shot.
Yeah, it was a good choice.
So Chilcott has the ball now on the left-hand side of the court. Into Shear, underneath, and that is McLaughlin on the court, I think, the number 13. Who makes that? Caitlin McLaughlin.
Yeah, you can't double-team Kathleen Shear. Passing's just way too good.
Out to double figures. Pretty important that Tawns get within 10 at 3/4. In towards Jordan. Can't quite make it. Moved well. Quick transition. Up to Chilcott, who stops and puts it off the glass and makes the 2.
What a pass by Kathleen Shear. That was a 40-foot pass. Beautiful. Didn't have to change direction. And a bit like Bill Walton back in the 70s, Dave. That's what he's renowned for, getting the ball turning and just hitting those long passes. Hard to defend.
Got a timeout here at Elfin Sports Centre. It's Nunawading 67, Tornadoes 55. For our radio listeners, we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so we've got a timeout here. 67-55. And the Tawns got back within about 6, Scott. They've just lost a little bit of control.
That's it. There's just basically led by Shear and her ability to pass out of the post. So she's saying, if you're going to double team me and don't think I'm going to be a selfish player, I'm going to give up the ball. And she's just finding those cutters towards the ring. And Nunawading, they've obviously been well drilled. So as soon as you see your player go for the double, cut straight towards the front of the rim, and Kathleen will find you. And that's pretty much the bread and butter of their offense. They're not making it too difficult. The Tawns, on the other hand, just finding it a little bit difficult to get inside. Gardner's getting some good penetration there. Now, Dave Buell mentioned that she has all the handles. What I have noticed, Dave, is she doesn't really go anywhere with the ball, though. And that's what made Lauren Mansfield such a good player, is that when she had the ball and made some moves, she covered such great space. And Gardner, it's no good putting the ball around your back and between your legs if you're working within a phone box, you know.
That's right.
She's got to make the defender get out of position as well. So it's a problem when you're a strong-built guard, not a speed guard. And she's playing against some quick guards here that she needs to make them move a little bit, or they've got to set some screens to help her create some space. Tawns are hanging in there, though. They're obviously biding some time for Brittany Hodges to play out that last quarter. But Kathleen Shear, if they don't get her into foul trouble, she's just going to dominate the rest of this game.
So Cassie Jordan also on the 3 fouls now. Is Beck Abel. In she goes, and to the line for 2. The 2 referees called that simultaneously. So a chance for a couple of points here for Beck Abel, and 14 fouls now for Nunawading with the 3 minutes remaining.
It's good to see Beck Abel getting involved in the game there offensively. She's been popping to the corners, which is her bread and butter, but they just haven't been able to find her because they're not giving her any space whatsoever. She's got a beautiful touch when she shoots the ball. This never looks like missing, David.
Back to 11. And this is the second one. Important rebound. It bounces around. Abel gets it. Gardner. Inside. All gets stripped of it. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been Kira Rowe, might have taken the ball off of there, so it's a Spectres turnover. Ball gets handed to Antoniadu, to McLaughlin.
Oh,
Here's Chilcott.
That's a great screen. That's unlucky.
So the rule there, Scotty, is that when you screen, you've got to be stationary. Is that correct?
You've got to be stationary. If
you step in front of the player, it's akin to shepherding.
That's it. Those people on the live stream, when we finish the call, if you go back there, this is good for the young centres. You can just tell they're number 13 in McLaughlin.
Yep.
Just got a little carried away. Wanted to put a little bit of butter on the bread there, and just dropped the shoulder. And you can't do that, David.
You've got to be stationary.
It looks good though.
56-67. Nunawading in front by 11 points. Beck Abel.
There it goes.
Can she light it up? Nope, not this time. Rebound there is by Kira Rowe. Partridge knocks it out of her hand, so it's going to be a Spectres ball.
And Izzy Chilcott's, she can't give Beck Abel that much space because that wasn't far off that shot.
Tessa Boyd on the court, replacing Rachel Antoniadu. Boyd on just the 2 fouls.
That's right. And a bunch of stats, 11 points, 100% shooting accuracy, Dave. She has not missed a shot.
Here it is now with Shear. And a travel. In fact, it was Kira Rowe. Those two quite similar on the court. Mixed up a few times tonight from a distance. But travel there against Kira Rowe. So side ball. Nunawading now in team foul territory. With 2 minutes left. That's the referee calling here.
Yeah, blocking foul there, Dave,
Okay.
on Izzy Chilcott.
So we're off to the line. Right on cue.
Izzy Chilcott's trying to point out to the ref that it may be a body mass issue.
Now I think Izzy now is actually on 4 fouls.
That
She's
is
coming
correct,
off the
David.
court, so I'll save her for the last quarter.
Mind you, Dave, when you've got Tessa Boyd just there ready to take the same duties, I don't think Nunawading's going to be too concerned.
Paige French makes the first one. Margin 10.
So if they're under 10 with a quarter to go, Dave, they're a chance. But short.
And she makes the second. 9 points. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in this third quarter. Oh, and the intercept is nicely done here by Cassie Jordan. Out to Paige French. Jordan hooks it out now to Abel. French. Stella Beck goes inside. Confronted. Paige French. Big 3-point attempt. Yep. There it is.
Paige French.
What a crucial triple for French. Margin 6 points. 67-61. They're back to that 6 points. They haven't been that edge closer in this quarter. Antoniadu back on the court. She wasn't off for very long. Kiera Rowe. Antoniadu. Tessa Boyd, little pass over the top. Shear.
Good pass.
Out. Long shot, Kiera Rowe.
Oh.
Barely hits the netting there of the basket. Out of play. So the Tawns now have a chance to go up the court and get within 4 or 3. And they haven't been within that distance for quite a while. We saw this last week, Scott. They got within that 1 point in the last quarter.
That's right.
After being well down for most of the night. Partridge. Abel inside. Cassie Jordan goes in with purpose. Tries to find a way
move,
through.
Cassie Jordan.
The Spectres players call for travel there. But the ref doesn't call that one.
Yeah, they're a bit unlucky. Her pivot foot did slide.
I think that might have been against Shear that time. Umpire put up the 15 fingers.
The 15 fingers.
Well, 10 and 5. You know what I mean?
Oh, brilliant.
You know what I mean? It's been a long day. Cassie Jordan, 2 live streams. Oh, and she's unlucky with that first one.
Yeah, she needs to knock these ones down. Every point's crucial here. Just to create that momentum, that belief, and that pressure.
And the second one, yep, gets it. So in 5, with 1 minute 15. Big part of the game coming up.
Oh,
Open here is Rowe. Space was closed down, but Kira Rowe found a bit of room around her opponent there and put up the shot for 2. That quietens the crowd down. 7's the margin still. A bet goes in, thinks about a shot. Gets her pass blocked though. Crucial turnover. Antoniadu, quick transition to Rowe. She steadies into Shear. She puts the shot up and misses. She's just been a bit off this quarter, Scotty, after having a huge first half.
That's it.
But just not dropping.
That's right. She's influential, and they're looking for her. Oh,
Well,
that's
Paige
a massive
French,
three.
massive. Wow, that was NBA 3-point territory, that one.
That was about 5 feet behind the line. Gotta love her.
Antoniadu. Tessa Boyd.
She'll hit that.
And she turns and shoots. And misses. Rebounded by Rebecca Abel.
Field goal percentage dropped, Dave, by both teams.
Girl from the Northwest Coast, Beck Abel. Little bounce past to Beck. Out to Partridge in the corner, tough shot. She falls over and trying to attempt it. Paige French gets the rebound.
Got 5 seconds.
We've only got 5 seconds left. I'm not sure if she's aware.
French takes them on.
The shot's got to come in right now by Cassie Jordan. Nope. And it's 3-quarter time, but a good hassling effort there from the Tawns. They got well out beyond 10 points. They've got it back to 7. It's 3-quarter time here at Elvin Sports Centre. Nunawading 69, Tornado 62. We'll take a short break for our radio listeners. And on the live stream, we're back in just a moment.
What a game. Welcome back to the NBL live stream. It's the last quarter tonight of our doubleheader. It's repeating before earlier tonight. The Spectres defeated the Northwest Thunder in the curtain raiser. I haven't got the score in front of me. I've just forgotten it for the moment, but it was quite an easy victory there for the Spectres. But tonight here in the second game, we've got a real contest, 69-62. The Spectres lead by 7. Scotty, the leading point scorers? Yeah, Sarah O'Neill still with 15, 14 to Beck and 12 to Hodges, 15 to Pizzy, and she had a massive quarter in that one, David. Scored pretty much 2/3 of her 15 points in that quarter. 14 to Kathleen Shear and 14 to D'Angelo, who's quieted off from that 10-point first quarter. Rebounds, 13 to Kathleen Shear. She is just an absolute marvel, and I know it sounds like we just keep talking about her, but geez, what can you say? She's been phenomenal.
I mentioned the call that she's missed a few shots towards the end of that quarter.
She did.
She can't keep getting them, I know, but...
that's it. Yeah. What she is doing, though, Dave, is every time she puts the ball up and they're double teaming on her, it's the offensive rebounds by the likes of Pizzy, for example. So she just creates even when she misses.
Okay, back underway, Scotty. We'll have to get back to those in a minute. As we're into the last quarter. Tessa Boyd to McLaughlin. Into the corner, Rowe. And Toniadu goes in, puts up the shot. A little bit off balance. And taking away now is Gardner. The turnover.
Tawns were playing a zone defence there, Dave, so they're trying to reduce Kathleen Shear's influence. A great move.
Here's Hodges, but good work, McLaughlin. Strong work.
She is a tank, Brittany. When she walks off, she's got that barrel walk, Dave, you know, where they look like they could, they've got lats the size of a swimming pool. But I
think she's just going to get better as this season.
Absolutely.
I mean, we can't underestimate how hard it is just to arrive in the country in a few weeks and turn it on completely. And she's shown a lot of improvement tonight.
And she's going up against one of the best defensive players in the country too, Dave. So it's going to keep her a bit quiet. But you can see she's going to give a tech foul away if she didn't get a foul called there. They were all over her.
Makes the first. Deep breath, Brittany Hodges, and the second. It was. All's well that ends well.
Absolutely.
Brittany Hodges, 5 points of difference. You're watching the NBL1 live stream and also simulcast on City Park Radio, our community radio station in Launceston. Antoniadu, corner to Boyd. Boyd makes a big triple.
Oh, she's a good player, David.
Absolutely.
Shows you how good Izzy Chilcott is to keep Tessa Boyd off that starting 5.
13 points to Boyd, margin 7. Partridge to Hodges underneath, tough shot. Can't make it, rebound Shear.
That's where she's got to not do those little soft reverse layups, though. She's a centre. She's got to get her shoulders square, go up hard, get the contact.
Kira Rowe. Well, finds McLaughlin with a bit of space, open shot and makes the 2. So the defence just let itself down a bit there, Scott.
Yeah, back
really
out the 9
probably
points.
shouldn't let a player have that latitude at this time in the game.
That's right, and I reckon they've sort of challenged her and said, we don't think you can make that shot, but
She did.
She did, but that was an unlucky decision.
Partridge, not a great shot there, hits the front of the ring. Down to O'Neill, he puts it up, too late, score doesn't count.
And I think they've called that on Partridge.
Yep.
Fair enough too, she almost took the leg out there.
So margin is 9 points, 73-64 here at Elfin Sports Centre. And a fantastic day of basketball. One of a number of double headers. I think there's 4 this season. 2 at Ulverston and 2 here at Elfin. Northwest Thunder and the Tornadoes. And Tony Adu. Tessa Boyd. Danger times now for the Tornadoes.
Oh, great pass.
Oh, beautiful. Underneath, and Kiera Rowe makes the 2. That's one from the training drills there, Scotty. It's well rehearsed.
Rebecca Pizzi, her influence in this game, she's in the top 3 players for the Spectres at the moment. She's just been fantastic.
Here it is now with Hodges. Dodges around and puts up the shot. Fade away from in front. Gets contact.
Pizzi's keeping the hands in the air saying, come on. But,
now, foul trouble for the Spectres, Scotty.
Let me have a look for you, David.
I think we've got 4 to Izzy Chilcott and now 4 also to Caitlin McLaughlin.
That's right, and Pizzi on 3.
Yep. Hodges makes the first, margin 10.
It's not down the offensive end tonight for the Tawns. It's really their defence that's let them down a little bit tonight, Dave. So they're going to just have to find, in this last 8 minutes, a way to stop the flow.
Hodges hit the front of the ring and span in for
Shoots
another
like
point.
a center, doesn't she? She shoots like a big.
75-66.
Michaela Roof was like that too, remember?
Yep.
She'd be on the free throw line and bricking them off the rim.
Now turnover here is a pass from Kiera Rowe. Didn't make the target.
A timeout to the Spectres, not happy with what they're seeing offensively.
Okay, we might, with a timeout here at the Elfin Sports Centre. 7 minutes and 47 left. Spectres 75, Tornadoes 66. We're back here in just a moment. Yep, we're at Elfin Sports Centre. My name's Dave Moore. I'm with Scott Brown. And this is the City Park Radio call of the NBL1 clash tonight. Nunawading Spectres, Tornadoes. Spectres lead 9 by 9 points. You're also watching the NBL1 live stream. Hope you're enjoying the vision and the action here of some great basketball in this new competition.
There's some world-class offense on both sides too, David. So fantastic view for the NBL1 live viewers tonight.
Okay, we've got Hodges. We'll pass now to Beck, to Gardner, 3 in Ports linking up. Strong defence here. Nice little pass underneath to Hodges, who makes 2. Gee, that was good work from the 2 girls who wouldn't have practiced much with each other at all so far, but they showed some good understanding there.
Absolutely, and Gardner just moving up.
Almost got a steal there, Scotty, as you were looking away, but Antoniadu regains it. Tessa Boyd from the corner, not this time. Long rebound, off hands, taken by the Tornadoes.
This is good for the Tawns. They just need to keep getting stops.
Stella Beck, Abel thinks about it. Gee, the mind was ticking over.
See the crowd rise every time she touches the ball.
Oh, here's some space for Hodges. She makes the 2 and goes to the line for the extra. And she's come alive, and we're back to a 5-point ball game with a potential of 4.
Just like that, Dave. Brittany Hodges, 20 points.
Yeah. She is going to be one of the best players in this competition within a short space of time, Scott.
That's it. She's
adjusting to the tempo.
Absolutely. Brittany Hodges too. She's just, like you said, building that understanding in those pick and roll situations. Could be quite a deadly duo.
Yep, extra points there. 4 points.
Oh, and we've got a
It
game,
hasn't been
David.
that close for a while. And we've got plenty of time left.
Oh,
7 minutes.
excited.
We love these close ones, Scotty.
Oh, I do.
Don't forget that double overtime against Frankston a couple of years ago.
Oh,
Here goes Tessa Boyd. Now there's a whistle on play.
oh, hello.
And it's against Derek Washington. The T sign has been made by the referee. Scotty, explain that to us for our radio listeners.
Yep, T for technical foul. I think Derek Washington there may have given a few words to the umpire he was verbally jousting with earlier on in the game, David. And I'm pretty sure the umpire gave him the clear, don't say that sort of stuff, otherwise I'll give you a tech foul. And it's Kathleen Shears missed the first free throw of her career.
So it's 2 throws in possession from the side.
That's right. So could only be a 1 point disadvantage here. But it's actually giving these girls a bit of rest. There she goes, she's made that one. Pushing it back out to a 5 point difference. If they lose by a point, the coach is going to feel horrible. But I don't know what he was complaining about there.
Substitution. And we've got D'Angelo comes on the court and Tessa Boyd didn't realise she was. Almost had 6 players on the court there for a second, but off comes Tessa Boyd.
She just said to the coach, you realise I've only missed 1 shot there. Chief, put me back out there. But Izzy Chilcott, they need that experience now. Oh, that's a great pass.
Well, Shear comes through, but it was Rowe, but it falls to Shear. Easy as you like, 2 points. So that tech foul could be a little bit costly in the run home.
That's it.
It's out to 7, it was 4. Steph Gardner.
Steph Gardner's defence has been excellent tonight too, Dave. We haven't mentioned that much.
Beck Abel thinks about the 3.
Oh, beautiful
Nice little pass into Hodges. And let me see. Oh, Kathleen Shear. She thought that was all ball. But the referee begged to differ. And Hodges will go to the line for 2. My word, she's had some free throws tonight.
Absolutely.
Brittany Hodges.
Just looking, David. Let's have a look here. Brittany Hodges just going on the free throws there. 7 from 9. David,
Yep.
good call.
So she's going to have free throws numbers 10 and 11 here in a moment. 14 fouls again, Nunawading. That's significant.
Didn't you just love Kathleen Shear's reaction there? It's like all good players never had a foul in their life.
3 fouls now, Shear. Nothing to worry about yet. Keep an eye on that. As Hodges makes the 2, it's back to 5. 6 minutes, 20 to go. Kathleen Shear to Chilcott. Hands it to D'Angelo. Shear looks for a way through. Has to dish out to Chilcott. Back to Shear. He should turn and shoot. She does now.
Travel!
No, she's travelled.
Oh,
no.
You can hear it in the bar. Oh!
Two thumbs up, Scotty. And I think it was some sort of jump ball situation there. Maybe there was 2 lots of hands on the ball.
Yeah, they said that.
Possession arrow to the Tornadoes.
I'm pretty sure if you go to the rule book, Dave, if one person jumps and comes down, it's still a trouble. But the refs have been pretty good tonight, Dave.
They have.
They've been exceptional. Oh, good
Here's
screen
Steph
there.
Gardner. Out now to Abel. Long shot. Good shot. 3 points. Rebecca Abel. The margin is just 2 points at the Elephant Sports Centre.
And the last thing the Spectres want is Beck Abel getting her eye in.
Hasn't been this close since the first quarter. Here
Kathleen
goes
Shear.
Shear at the other end.
Bully ball.
Oh, she makes an important basket. Within 10 seconds of the Tawns getting within 2. Hodges.
Oh, Hodges.
Answers.
What a game.
What a great basketball game we've got here on the NBL1 live stream and also on City Park Radio. Margins back to 2. D'Angelo. Chilcott. Shear open. Pass underneath to Pizzi.
Oh,
she's fouled.
that's a soft foul.
And she makes the 2.
Oh, it's the same umpire. Derek Washington wants to give a spray. He can't afford a second
He's
tech.
turning away.
Oh,
turning
good
away.
Lord.
There'll be the extra attempt here. The 2 points count.
Jeez, Dave, I don't know about that one. I think Brittany was pretty straight up there. I've seen some tougher misses in the game tonight.
Pizzi makes the extra 1.
Take nothing away from Pizzi. She's been fantastic tonight.
That's 5. The margin. Stella Beck retreats to O'Neill. Up against Rowe. O'Neill goes in.
O'Neill, what a
finds
player.
space and makes the 2.
Sarah O'Neill. She's
Back
up to
to 3.
21 points, David. What a player. It's an absolute
sort of-
breakout game.
She's sort of been in spurts tonight because she's making points all of a sudden and goes a little bit quiet.
That's it.
But she's been outstanding. In goes D'Angelo underneath space. Doesn't make an important rebound. Oh, it's gone out the back. It's going to be a contested ball. That might be a jump ball.
Yeah,
In which case the arrow is, possession arrow to the Spectres. Moisture on the quarters. There are about 5 players jumping on that ball.
And look at this, the young fellas weren't paying attention to the game, don't know where they were going.
I love this young fella here. He's
oh, jeez, that's a bit of a soft effort, David.
He's part of the game. He's part of the game. That's the important thing.
Did he touch the floor, Dave? We have to go to the third umpire on that one. Look at this, isn't that fantastic to see to get the young fellas in?
Maybe a future Husky.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. Now he's got it. There we go.
There he goes. He's contributing. So it's all about being a volunteer.
Beck Abel setting a few screens on the young fellow. He's trying to get off the court. Let him go past Beck.
3 points.
Yeah, now back to the action, Dave. What an end.
The crowd getting really involved. You can hear that in our effects mic.
Well, they know that the Tawns, they're going to fight right to the last second.
Shear steadies herself, then moves in.
Great move, Kathleen Shear.
She can't quite do the business, although Pizzy's there with the follow-up. Calm finish, Rebecca Pizzy. Big second half for Pizzy.
Pizzy's just shooting 88% from the field, though. I just checked.
Now,
That's incredible.
Looks like Sarah O'Neill might have trodden on the line there. Nick Draper, very vigilant there. So that's first time we've seen that tonight. We've seen that a bit here at Elford Sports Centre.
I reckon 90% of the crowd knows who Nick Draper is too, Dave. He wouldn't want to be calling too many of those. He might have trouble getting to his car.
No, we're not like that here in Launceston. Here we go now, going through with Rowe. Gets out with Shear.
Oh, he's safe. He's safe, David.
Now, talk to me, Scotty. Rowe went through and then cannon into a Tornadoes player.
Yeah, offensive foul. They won't count the basket. It was after the foul. And Nick Draper's just redeemed himself in the crowd's eyes.
And that was a crucial play because that would have made it 7 points.
Yeah, they
back
can't
to
let it blow out.
Still 4 minutes left.
Derek Washington still chirping to the one umpire that's given the technical foul. Walking the tightrope, David. Sheesh.
We've got a timeout here, so we'll take a break here from Elford Sports Centre. 3 minutes 59 left. Nunawading 85, Tornadoes 80. We've got a thriller on our hands here. Back in a moment. It's the NBL1 live stream and City Park Radio coverage of the NBL1 clash here tonight. What a contest. Nunawading Tornadoes, 85-80. High scoring, Scotty.
Yeah, it's very high scoring.
In the 80s for both teams.
Absolutely. The field goal shooting has been absolutely outstanding from both teams. And when I was just mentioning, Pizzy, 88%. Tessa Boyd.
Yep.
She's up there in the 66%. Now, this is outstanding. Most guards shoot in the 40% range, though. 66%, and most centres in the 88% for Pizzy. That's no wonder they're up.
And that looks a high-class contest to me.
Absolutely.
Both teams have been fantastic tonight.
And if actually look at the other end there, Brittany Hodges, she's up there in the 61%, so she's shooting quite well. They need to get the ball in their hands.
Hodges thinks about the shot. Stella Beck hands it to Gardner, who might get open for a shot. Oh, great block there by Pizzy, although Gardner gets it back. Shot from the corner. And from Beck Abel. Can't do the big three-pointer this time.
Quiet night by Beck Abel by her standards.
Chilcott. To Kira Rose, played a lot of minutes in the second half.
Whoa.
Out now to Pizzy. Big night for Rebecca Pizzy. Follows her own rebound in and then knocks it out of play. It's a Tornadoes ball. She slaps her hands. Young Rebecca Pizzy, just 19 years of age, 190 centimetres. Big game tonight. So that margin's 5. 3 minutes 20. Steph Gardner. Cruises down the right-hand side of the court. Now goes centrally. Now to the left. Keeps possession for a while.
Oh, great move.
Into Hodges. Spins. Doesn't get a quality shot up, though. Yeah. Might have been a hand in on that one.
It's been the matchup of the night, Dave, for me. Pizzy versus Hodges.
Long shot from Shear. Doesn't make it. Chilcott tries to keep it in. She can't do so. It crashes into the advertising hoardings.
And that can be down to the great hustle of Beck Abel there. And despite her offensive quietness tonight, she has been contributing across the board. And it's little 1%ers that they don't measure like that, David.
Long time, absolutely. A long time in the context of a basketball game, but you just feel the next sparks is crucial.
Absolutely.
Difference between 7 and 3 here.
Steph Gardner, she just cannot find a way to penetrate tonight.
Sarah O'Neill into the central position, goes underneath. Can't quite finish the job there. It was a good move. Got through traffic. So it's possession now with the Spectres. The Nunawading Spectres lead by 5.
The movement by the Spectres is beautiful.
Chilcott goes in. Important rebound.
Oh, another great hand in there by Abel.
Gardner gets it. Pizzi tries to steal it off her. And again, Gardner keeps control.
Oh.
And knocked away out of the clutches there of Hodges. Scotty, talk to us.
Oh, gee, you're just waiting there for Gardner to just do that magic pass, and it looked like she was walking up the court.
I was going to say she looked very weary up the court there. I mean, I'm not sure how match fit. I mean, she's been playing overseas, but
she's played. Let's have a look here, Dave. 32 minutes, just behind Beck, who's on 35, and she's played every second of the game.
Speaking of Beck, here she is. Turns, goes under, has to dish off. Backcourt nearly centimetre inside. Sarah O'Neill gets it. Shot clock now an issue.
Oh, she's Beck.
Now, what's the referee saying there? Points don't count. So it might have been a contact though.
Jeez, and you can see Derek Washington. He's saying just count the basket.
Well, we're in team foul situation, of course, Scotty, because and the basket was a long way after the foul.
Just looking at Beck, she's had some trouble from the free throw tonight. She's only 1 from 3, so I'm sure that's in the back of her mind. And of course, they over-adjust Dave when they miss the first one instead of just going through their regular shot routine. So if they shoot them short, then they start shooting them long.
Let's see how this one is. It's perfect.
There we go.
Right on range.
Just shows I haven't been able to pick it at all tonight, Dave.
Margin 4, 2 minutes, 11 seconds left. And Beck misses the second, although Hodges gets a rebound and gets fouled in the shot. Yeah, and she'll go to the line for 2. Foul committed there by Pizzi.
Just looking at the foul count for Pizzi, Dave. I think she's safe. I think that's a 4.
No, that's 4. And we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Spectres on 4 fouls, Scott.
Yeah, it's not a good position to be in. In fact...
I'll run through them. Pizzi, Chilcott, Rowe. The first free throw goes in. Also McLaughlin and Shear. So 5 key players there, all on 4 fouls.
Yeah, just looking on the board here, Dave, Kathleen Shear, 3 fouls. So she's still safe.
Hodges makes the second. Of course, Hodges is also on 4 fouls. So match point for a lot of players. Here's a Toniadu to D'Angelo. 2 points the difference. What a game we've got here at Elephant Sports Centre. Chilcott, D'Angelo, Shear, underneath the basket, turns, shoots and makes it. That's the class of Kathleen Shear.
Yeah, she's solid.
Back out to 4. Quick transition. Here's Hodges. Goes underneath Hodges. Not fouled. And Toniadu keeps it in. Hodges not happy with the call. Crucial part of the game here. In goes Chilcott underneath. Fast-paced stuff here. D'Angelo hooks it out. And Toniadu goes right. Underneath. Pizzi dishes out. Shot clock running down. Long shot. And it's out of play off Shear. It'll be a Tornadoes ball.
And who's down there hustling her butt off? But Beck Abel. Yep. He's up against the 2 biggest girls on the court then. Now, and timely time out there.
Second time out. Second one for the Tawns. We'll draw a breath here because it's frenetic action. Score is 87 Spectres, 83 Tawns. Tawns in possession. Back in a moment. So the referees just going over to their respective huddles, informing the coaches that it's time to get back out on the court. So 86 seconds, Scott, 4 points. And I mean, the Tawns must really score this time up the court.
Absolutely.
They're not out of it if they don't, but
that's it.
They've just got to keep the scoring pressure on.
That's it. They have to make the basket. All they'll be talking about now is open shots, taking good shots, good decisions, and getting stops. But Nunawading, they look like they're exhausted at the moment.
Well, it's always the issue, as we say, with these Saturday night games, Scott, with the second of a double header. But at this level, the players are very fit. A lot of petrol tickets left, I'm sure, for the Spectres. Steph Gardner takes it easy, looks for options. A lot of physical contact underneath the basket.
Stella Beck just had the head taken off.
Out towards Hodges, who turns and makes 2. 29 points. Brittany Hodges, outstanding. Antoniadu to Pizzi. Margins 2 for our radio listeners. Shear might have got some contact there by Beck Abel. It'll be a side ball. We're not in team foul trouble yet for the Tawns. That's only their third foul.
Brittany Hodges up to 27 points too, Dave. So Hodges on 27. She's just exploded in this quarter.
And a reminder that she's on 4 fouls though.
And they'll be targeting at her. They'll be driving at any chance they get.
This could be the game of the round, this one. In the NBL1 women's competition. It's going right down to the wire. Antoniadu. Pizzi. Can't find space. Shear thought about the 3. Didn't pull the trigger. In the corner is Chilcott. D'Angelo moves in. Hooks it out to Shear. Drags it in. Gets fouled. No.
24-second clock went, Dave.
Sorry, I didn't see that, Scotty. The shot clock expired.
I have to look at the umpire as well.
Good call. I thought it was a foul because the whistle went just as he was taking the shot. But the crowd were roaring and I knew there was something going the Tornadoes' way. And so here we go. The first time I think the Tornadoes are going down the court with a chance to be in front in this game. With 36 seconds left, they trail by 2. Gardner, great debut for the Tornadoes. She puts up the shot to level the scores. It bounces, it doesn't go in. And now the Tawns are in a bit of trouble because there's 23 seconds left in the game.
They need a foul, David.
They might have to foul because they can just run the shot clock down here and take a shot right at the last moment. They know they have to foul. Out it comes. It is keeping possession. Chilcott and Teniadu, 9 seconds. She keeps possession. They're going to have to foul now. They do. And lunging there to foul was Stella Beck. It's all she could do with 5.6 seconds left. Should they have gone earlier, Scott?
Absolutely. Derek Washington just cannot believe it. He was jumping up and down and screaming for him to foul.
In the Spectres' credit, though, they were getting space.
That's
it. So the Tornadoes were chasing tail, and they couldn't really get contact for a foul.
That's it. They ran over, and you just saw their guards run over and say, hold the ball. Interesting decision, because had they fouled earlier, David, it gave them an opportunity for 2 possessions.
That's right. And, of course, we're not in team foul situation, so it's actually a Spectres ball.
That's it. It's
in some cases, it might have been better if they were in team foul situation.
It was a bizarre decision because Derek Washington doesn't know what to do. It's like, I don't know what to do in this situation. We have to foul as soon as the ball comes in.
He's rubbed off the whiteboard.
Yeah, they'll pass the ball. They'll do everything they can to get it to their best free throw shooter. But it gives away the opportunity to win the game, David.
So can we see the shot clock, Scott?
It's on. It won't matter, David.
It won't matter, of course.
It's a foul, reset to 14.
Of course. But about that. So that's not a factor. So
that's if they don't foul in the first 5/100th of a second.
What would Paul Flynn be saying?
He'll be saying he'll be setting up for their best free throw shooter to get the ball on the inbound pass. Unfortunately for the Tawns, like I said before, the Spectres hadn't missed a free throw until Shear missed that one, so they're in trouble whoever they pick.
Because a foul now, of course, takes it to the 5-team fouls.
That's right.
Straight to the line.
That's right. And that's why you wanted to get it earlier, so that you had a chance to get 2 possessions to try and win the game. Yep. So now they've got to go for the tie. They've got to hope that they miss one and go for the tie. It's
a long shot, literally. With,
good call, David.
With this situation. So a little bit flat on the crowd because I know that it's probably 20-1 chance from here.
That's it. Yeah, that's been very kind, David. Watch it to get either to Shear or to
here we
Chilcott
go.
would be my pick.
Play's about to get underway as the ball comes in.
They've got it.
Oh, it's a steal! Unbelievable! Stella Beck, she's going to have a shot now, and she doesn't make it. Is it a foul? I think the time has expired. In hindsight, Beck maybe should have gone the shot herself.
Oh no! One of the umpires actually put his hand up for a foul.
No, it's over. It's over here at the Elephant Sports Centre. We might just have to relive that last couple of seconds.
Oh, jeez!
It was unbelievable. Stella Beck. I talked about 20-1.
That's it.
Stella Beck actually stole the ball away, charged up the court. Now it's easy in hindsight. She may have taken the shot herself.
That's it.
She did dish it off to Brittany Hodges.
She needed to pull up for the jump shot there, but she, of course, in the heat of the matter, you don't have
absolutely. I mean, how do you know exactly what the situation is? So, what a fantastic contest.
The umpires are getting out of here as quick as they can.
No, they did a great job. There's no doubt
that was
about
a fantastic game, and what a steal by Stella Beck. It was a tough shot to make anyway, Dave, on the fast break and the pull up. What a game though they showed they're going to be very, very competitive, the Tawns.
Wow, 87-85 is the final score here. Scotty, a great last half from the Tornadoes. They were well and truly out of it. The margin was beyond 10.
Yep. And
they just incrementally forced their way back into the game.
That's it. It wasn't like Nunawading was playing poorly. 85-87. That's like some of our final scores from last year. So two great teams. The Tawns, they're going to shake a few teams up.
They will. And Scotty, we'll wrap up reasonably quickly here because we're getting close to the top of the clock at 10 o'clock.
Just give a shout out to Brittany Hodges. Fantastic game, 29 points, and a big shout out Sarah O'Neill, best game she's played. We've
probably got time, Scotty, if you just want to go through the leading possession winners.
I sure will.
Rebounds, etc.
Yanking it up on the board here. Well, it's the points there. Hodges, I just mentioned, 29. 21 to O'Neill, 15 to Beck. Shear on 21. Pizzy on 20. D'Angelo on 14. Rebounds. Beck Abel led the rebounds for the Tornadoes on 6, and that's something they'll be a bit disappointed about. Kathleen Shear, 15 rebounds. What a superstar. 12 to Chilcott and 5 to Pizzy. In the assist, Gardner, not bad in the first game. 7 assists, Dave. And 4 rebounds to Gardner as well. 5 assists to Kathleen Shear. And this shows you the dominance of Kathleen Shear. Led the points, led the rebounds, led the assists.
Fantastic.
Will be our MVP, Dave.
We've been covering these games since 2013 on the radio for our live stream viewers, and that's probably one of the top 5 games we've covered. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. It was that and the double overtime, and that was pretty exciting. The win against Hobart, but that was right up there. I mean, to get a steal, you can tell when we're excited, Dave, when we're just shouting out any random word.
And look, the Tawns will be disappointed, but in the heat of the moment now, just straight after the game. But I think when they reflect and look at the review of this game, scoring 85 points and clawing their way back from well down, beyond, I think it was 12, 13, 14 points,
that's it,
well into the last half, to get within striking distance. Fantastic effort.
And the fact is, Brittany Hodges got fouled on that last play, and so they were just unlucky that someone pressed the siren.
That's right.
Ran out of time. But Dave, they are more competitive than people give them credit for.
Yep, that's right. And they can only get better.
Absolutely.
They get some of those younger players back. And your thoughts about Stephanie Gardner this evening?
Excellent. Great ball handler, didn't turn the ball over, great passer, just needs to be able to penetrate a little bit more, but her defense was fantastic. And if you were to score out of 10, Dave, 7, 8 out of 10 tonight. She didn't do too much wrong.
We're talking a lot about the Tawns, but we have to give credit.
The
second game of a road trip. They got beaten quite convincing last night by the Hobart Huskies.
Yep.
So we have to play credit to them. They'll be there at the business end of the season. They've got some class players, and Kathleen Shear, she had a bit of a flat spot in the third quarter, but overall tonight, what an outstanding game.
Outstanding game, and same with Rebecca Pizzy. 20 points and 5 rebounds for Pizzy, and her effort on Brittany Hodges for 3 quarters was exceptional. It wasn't until Pizzy got in foul trouble that Hodges just took off and made it tough.
Of course, Chelsea D'Angelo set it up in that first quarter. She scored a lot of points, and we can't underestimate the contribution there of Tessa Boyd coming off the bench.
Yeah, Tessa Boyd's one of my favourites, and every time she comes here, Dave, she just puts up a quiet 10 points, 5 assists, 3 or 4 steals. She just doesn't turn the ball over. You can't leave her open. Very, very, very good player. And like I said, what a luxury to have her just to come off the bench.
Fantastic. So we're just about to sign off from here. Thank you very much, Scott.
Our pleasure.
It was a pleasure to talk to Dave Viewer at time, wasn't it?
Jesus, he's just a fantastic bloke, and what a player. And like I said, he was the Tim Duncan of Australian basketball.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks to Joe here, who's been doing the camera work since 6 o'clock. Both live stream games, so fantastic effort, Joe.
Back us on the way home.
That's it. And thanks to Chris back in the studio. We've had a big day of live broadcast here on City Park Radio, starting the footy way back at 2 o'clock. So, great game, great for basketball, fantastic doubleheader. Hope you've enjoyed the action here on the NBL1 live stream and on City Park Radio. From here, the final score, Nunawading 87, Tornadoes 85. Goodbye for now.